Hello, y'all. How is it going? It is, here in Japan, Sunday morning. It's 11 a.m., to be fair. Not too early in the morning. Kinda wanted to do it earlier, but stuff has been happening. Last night, I got home, I got to the hotel too late. I was up pretty late going to get getting some dinner. And once I got back, I was feeling shitty. I was kind of sick, and I really didn't feel like setting things up. So, did that this morning. Also, other things happened this morning which caused the stream to be later than I wanted to. Like, I had to, turns out Booking.com canceled on me one of my reservations, so I had to call the hotel and get that set back up, but without the private onsen that I was expecting in Hakone, which kind of a bummer, but what the fuck, right? What the fuck, right? I don't know. That'll still be something. That'll still be fun. That's still Hakone. Hello QB, hello Lord Bowser, hello Moyako. How y'all doing? We're gonna do some viewer levels here, folks. That's the plan for today. The hotel internet seems like it's a little jank. You might have some drop frames and things of that nature in there. Sorry about that. Yeah. And while I do the viewer levels, you know, I'm going to, while I do the viewer levels, I am going to, talk about stuff. In particular, most especially, perhaps, this whole Japan trip I've been on. This whole big Japan trip situation, which has been a whole thing. Executive summary. I'm just gonna give a quick executive summary of the last week since the last stream, which, by the way, accidentally did not stream that last stream live on Twitch because it was set to broadcast test mode, which basically tests the bandwidth. So I was only on YouTube last week, which explains perhaps how slow it was and why we didn't get as many levels as I was perhaps expecting. But this week we're doing it in the morning. We're doing it at a time that is closer to the usual stream o'clock for Mario Maker especially. And we're doing it where I don't have to worry about talking loud and disturbing others that might be trying to sleep in the morning. You see, these are all things that make sense. I am also not powering as much stuff as I can through the laptop, so hopefully the battery will last, even though it's charging. It seems to be at 99% right now, which seems to suggest that it is draining it a little bit to do the streaming, and the encoding of the stream and the recording. But, at any rate, I'm not doing a separate encoding for the local recording now, so it should at the very least, be half the power. And last time we went for 3 hours before we had to call it because it was like 3% power. This should last as long as we need it to, I reckon. But let's see. I also wonder if Japanese like power supply might be part of the reason why it's not lasting as long. You know, like I know that the power supply here is like half the wattage, half the something or other. So that could explain a thing or two. You might be wondering, by the way, how I got this set up. I was saying earlier how Osaka, I was a little worried because the desk situation was a little bit tight. And I can show that right now. See, look. This is the desk I have to deal with. And you might ask, how did I get this working? How did I get my ridiculous setup set up? Well, like this. The couch is the table, and I'm sitting on the floor. So that's fun. That's something that you do in Japan sometimes. You sit on the floor. This is how I got it working, and hopefully that's fine. That works. Cool. Executive. Let me quickly, before we really get into the swing of things, thank you for level QB. Before we get into the swing of things, let me sum up how my week has gone. And this is just going to be a quick summary. I'm not gonna... The food Last week, I did it through the lens of food. This week, I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to give you, like, the day by day. So, let's see. Second day of Sapporo was after the last stream. So that day, I basically just went to an onsen and then saw the Ainu Center and then went back and relaxed for the rest of the day. That was my last day in Sapporo, and I kind of needed a break. Day after that, traveled to Osaka. And that was a flight. Went pretty well. Had to separate my bags because I had to check in like most of my luggage, but that turned out to be pretty fine. And I was able to get through that and have a nice night on the town in Dotonbori, which is a very cool part of Osaka in which I am staying. The next day, I went and did a bunch of Kyoto stuff. In particular, a bunch of stuff on the west side. That is to say, like, the stage area, what's it called? The film set studio park. I went and did that. I'm gonna make myself big, by the way. I went and did that stage situation thing. Then I went to Arashima, did the monkeys, had some lunch, did the bamboo forest, and then what the fuck did I do after that? It's been a minute. I did some other stuff. The rock shrine and the golden pavilion. I did those two. Next day, that would be, what's that, Wednesday? Full day at Universal Studios Japan. Universal Studios Japan was my Wednesday. Then on Thursday, I sort of did a bunch of Osaka-type stuff. That is to say, I did Osaka Castle, I did the aquarium. This is not in order. I did the aquarium, I did Umeda Sky Building, I did that fancy bridge that they have. There's a really tall bridge that I saw for the first time this time. It was pretty cool. And a couple other things that were pretty minor and easy to get out of the way. It was kind of a chill Thursday relative to the other days that I had. Friday, I went to the Nintendo Museum. I had a reservation for the Nintendo Museum. Saw that. That was fantastic. And then did a bunch of other stuff in Kyoto, specifically like Fushi and Nari. Got to the top of that whole deal. Just the microphone thing. Got to the top of that. That's the shrine with the gates. And then also did, geez, what was the other one in that area? That's like one of the best ones. Oh, I did Kiyomizadera. That was my last thing. And then I went and did, Gion. I hung out in Gion for a bit, then returned to the hotel after that. Saturday, I did Nara and a few last shrines in Kyoto. And that brings us up to present. Today, where I did nothing. I woke up, I got the stream set up, I had some minor crises where the hotel for the last day of my trip got canceled on me, so I had to scramble. But no, now it's good. Now we're having the stream, and it's gonna be a good time. We got lots of levels in the queue. Fantastic. I'm gonna make myself small, and then I think we're going to... I'll tell you what we're gonna do. We're gonna go through all those topics I said. I got lots of photos and stuff from everything, but we're not gonna do it chronologically because, as you can tell, I sort of bounced around from Osaka to Kyoto. Oh, I forgot, yesterday I went to Denden as well, in Osaka. Went to Denden, the, like, Akihabara equivalent there. Which was cool. I bounced around a lot, so instead of doing it chronologically, we're gonna get Sapporo out of the way real quick. Then we're gonna talk about Universal Studios. Then we're gonna talk about the Nintendo Museum, and then Osaka, and then end on Kyoto and Nara. That'll be the order of tonight. I think that sounds like a good plan. Hopefully the stream is holding up, and y'all can see me. Looks like we've had some drop frames, but should be good. The VOD will also be nice and pristine, ideally, so yeah. Let's get into it. It's time for viewer levels, folks. Let me just Okay, we're gonna pick out the first one, which is Lord Bowser. We're gonna make this nice and big. There we go. And I'm going to say how this works. Because this is a special stream, I'm gonna be going with the lightning round from the start. And I'll say the bonus heads are on the fritz on this laptop. They don't work properly, so unfortunately bonus heads will not be in the equation. Actually, you know what? I had an idea with that. We can do bonus heads, but I'm just not going to randomize them. How about that? Let me just, that's how we'll do this. I thought about this a bit since the last stream, where they were screwed up. And did not proceed to fix them. Instead, just sort of, you know, I've been busy. You can tell by the storytelling, the situation. Where is Mario? Give me that other Mario head to go with this one. There we go. Okay, that'll do. We'll do lightning round style with bonus heads for everyone. There we go. It'll be the same bonus head every time. That's fine. Let me make myself, regular size. And let's do this. We got a lot of levels here tonight. A good amount to start with. Let's go. And by the way, for when I do the VOD, I'm gonna be doing timestamps by topic. You know, by like those specific topics that I laid out. And also I got a couple of things to talk about that aren't related to this trip. You know, aren't like directly related, and I'll get through those like real fast, like in the next few minutes or so. Did I? Oh, I super typed that wrong. Where the fuck did I get that code? Oh, I was looking at the tracker. I combined two codes. That explains it. Okay, good. Ooh, my legs are falling asleep from the way I was sitting. I'll try sitting in a different way. Okay. Cool. Great. That's right, it's world time. Alright, folks, it's time for viewer levels proper. We're going to take this... I'm going to talk about the Japan trip as we go, but also I'm going to play the video game, have a good time, and also, we gotta get to some quickfire cards. Did not work. Quickfire cards, just real fast before we begin. Just a few couple things I want to talk about. You went to Japan in 2011? Excellent. I've been playing a lot of Balatro, let me tell you. I didn't mention it last week, but I forgot during that stream. But Balatro came out on phones, and that's basically been my go-to game this whole trip so far. You know, because it's on my phone, I don't need anything special to do it. You know, and whenever I have time on a train, I'll be, like, pulling out some Balatro and doing that. If you don't know Balatro, it's a game that came out earlier this year, where it's sort of like poker. You make poker hands, and you get, like, ridiculous jokers that change the values of those hands, and you use that to get bigger and bigger and bigger scores that let you pass. It's sort of like a poker roguelike, in a way. It's really cool, really fun, and it was great on Switch, and it turns out it's even better on phone. I am really loving the fuck out of it. By the way, I'll say that the Twitch chat is having some connection issues due to the VPN. Hopefully I don't miss anything. Hopefully that all the messages come through after it reconnects every time the VPN does something weird. Wish it would not do that. I feel like it's probably just like switching IPs every couple of minutes, and that's causing it to get confused. I don't know. Balatro's been really good, and my god, I'm probably gonna play a lot of it still the rest of the weeks here. Very good level, Lord Bowser. Let's go. Let me hit complete for you. Yeah, you hate when you're on VPN, it always shows connecting to chat. Yeah, that's exactly what it's doing. But without the VPN, the stream would not work, so it was dropping frames left and right, so had to do it. Had to do it. Thank you, Lord Bowser. Let me hit complete. And get the next one up. Next one is by Moyako. Go ahead and confirm, Moyako. You know what to do. I'll hit next so that y'all know. And we'll do sudden death if someone's not here. That's how it'll work. Also been playing Zelda. Not that much. I've gotten through like the first 3 dungeons and the thing right after that, and started running into like the jungle area. I haven't really had the energy at the end of the day to like really do a whole lot of Zelda, unfortunately. But I've been enjoying it. It's been pretty good. It's fun to go through and find stuff and figure out like, oh, this echo to use, that echo to use, and you know, sort of get my way through all the challenges in whatever creative solutions that come to mind. That's a really cool thing. I just haven't had the wherewithal for it. Did I spell that wrong? JMF VT7, isn't it? Yes, okay. Let me get that. Yeah, there we go. You've been playing Ammonia, super fun to play with friends, card game. Never heard of it. But that's interesting me at Moyako. Ooh, hey, a new Moyako stage. That's fantastic. Haven't had one of those in a minute. I'll also say, by the way, this isn't on a card or anything, but I have been thinking about... I haven't played that much UFO 50 this last week, but I was thinking about doing another stream, just like idly when I had time, just to do some like not Japan Travelogue content, just some like, hey, here's UFO 50, I'm just gonna play it and have a good time and chill the fuck out and not do something quite so high-strung, but that never came together. The one day where I wanted to do it, which was like the Sapporo day, the second Sapporo day, it turned out that I had an issue with the laundry. I tried to do laundry, but it ended up all, yeah, I think I've touched them all before, yeah. The new one's the only one that I haven't, tried. The laundry ended up being super sopping, so I had to do some things to get that, working, unfortunately. So, all that came to naught. The GBA F-Zeros, the other ones, came to GBA Online. That was pretty cool. And, I got one more card just to go over all the anime I've been watching, because, like, that's, like, the one thing I've managed to do with, like, my time when I get home, or get back to home base at the end of a day. I see what we have to do here. This looks good. Yep. Wait, what, huh? Whenever I've gotten back to home base, I've been in the mood to, like, watch some random YouTube. Oh, I see. It bounces back up, and then we can double jump on it. Okay, cool. That's clever. Ooh, this is really well routed. I just need to get my sea legs back. I'll say it's been a week since the last stream, so... I'll tell you, it's... with that amount of break between streams, I've almost forgot how to stream, I'll say. But, yeah. We'll... Why did it fuck? This is going very fast. Such as the lightning round. Here we go. We on our last try? Shit. No! That was close. Really clever stuff. I think that's great. But, ran out of lives and so forth. Lightning round, you get it, you understand. Let me, hit the dismiss and bring up the next one. And of course, you can always resubmit until such time as the queue is closed. Okay. Also, while I'm on trains, like if I have a really long train that's like 30 minutes or more, definitely watching an episode of anime, internet connection notwithstanding. QB, you are up. Let me show those anime things. What's a whole bunch of new anime? Let me show you all of them. I watched the first episode of Reincarnated Aristocrat Season 2, which seems like it's off to a good start. There's War on the Horizon, which is not that show's strong point, but strong suit, but it seems to be handling it in a way that is, you know, in the character of that show, which is pretty good. QB is here, fantastic. I also watched the first episode of Let This Grieving Soul Retire. That show is about... Let This Grieving Soul Retire. It's about a guild leader with imposter syndrome. He thinks he's like totally unfit to be the guild leader of the clan his childhood friend started because he is a lot less strong than they are. But no one believes that, and it you know, he sort of just manages to get by without that being an issue somehow, using like social skills and things like that. It's a fun conceit. There's a bunch of fun adventure type characters. I think this is a good one. I think that's a good ass show. The most notorious talker runs the world's greatest clan. It's kind of similar to the last one. The main character is a real fuck, and he spends a good amount of the episode like gaslighting his teammates into starting a clan, like moving up in terms of organizational level. And it's kind of nasty and mean, but it's kind of fun. Not bad. I don't know. I'm gonna hold off judgment and see where it goes on that one. But yeah, ReZero had a hour-and-a-half long season intro. All I can say about that is hell yeah, I love ReZero, and this new season is off to a great start. I can't wait to see where it goes. 365 Days to the Wedding might be good. Basic premise is that there's two characters who are socially inept, and they decide to get married to avoid a assignment where they'd have to go live abroad. One of them might, you know, because they would tend to give that to unmarried people, because you know, people with a family, that's a lot to uproot. So they decide to get married. Neither of them can communicate very well, and it's kind of clear that it'll eventually become an out-and-out romance. It hasn't yet, so it's kind of slow going at first. It might be good if it, like, ramps up as it goes. It doesn't just, like, stay in its groove. Negative Positive Angler. Main character is a lot, but his bros are very cool. It's like a fishing show about a guy who is, like, super depressed, super angsty, super, like, suicidal, even. And, he tries to jump off a bridge to evade loan sharks and ends up hanging out with some fishermen who are cool bros that are fun. And you like them, and they're charming and very animated. And I really like those characters. I hope that the main dude, like, cools off a bit and stops being so, like, aggressively myopic. But, yeah, it's cool. It seems like it might be cool if those bros, like, make it as chill as it should be. Dan to Dan. Dan to Dan is a show that's, its reputation has preceded. It's like one of the biggest Shonen Jump manga right now. It just started the anime. The basic premise is that there's a boy who believes in UFOs and a girl that believes in spirits, and they both, like, challenge each other to go to the opposite spots if they really believe that the opposite is not real. And turns out both of them are real, and they both get drawn in, and it's really a lot. It really goes for it. It goes fucking really hard. The characters are really dramatic and big and oversized. Fucking kicks ass. Really, I feel like what people have said about Dan to Dan has not been exaggerated. That show has so much potential. This is a show here about a magical girl organization, sort of like a startup magical girl company, like a discount magical girl outfit, which this one girl who's been trying to find a job and has been struggling, even though she's really talented and such, manages to get in on, and it's a whole situation. It's fun. I think the characters are great. The way that it approaches the magical girl stuff is good. I don't think the action is like super great, but I'm enjoying it so far. I think I'll watch more. And Danmachi, new season, seems like a promising arc, concerning a character who's been there the whole time, but has never come to the forefront as far as like emotional stuff goes. That's good. I'm liking it. Yeah. And finally, Gale Gun Online, a Sword Art Online spin-off about a big, tall, lanky girl who plays as a tiny girl as like in the game, right? She has a small, tiny, chibi avatar with a pink hat and pink clothes, and she kicks ass. It seems like it's off to a good start. It sort of starts off in medias res, starting off in the middle of like the next action thing, which was confusing because it's been years since that show was on the air, and I didn't know, like, oh, did they stop on a cliffhanger last time? But no, they're just getting into a new Battle Royale arc, and seems good. That seems fine. I'm happy with that so far. That covers all the anime. I watched a fair amount of it, but let me say, there's still a lot more left. After this level, we'll start talking about Japan and the trip so far, and we'll try to get through it in big, large chunks, if that sounds good. Let me see, how's the battery doing? 93%. Okay, so I am draining battery, even though I'm not, my battery is draining at a rate that is concerning. We've been going about a half hour. Okay, so 10%, like 7% an hour. 14% an hour. That's like what? We could go 5 hours and it'd be fine. Okay, we won't go 5 hours, I'll say. So this will be fine. The battery life situation will be fine. Let's play this level. Sorry for the length of that anime tangent. But, yeah. QB is here, by the way. Let's go, let's do it. I got those new images, by the way. That's gonna be the new format for anime going forward, I think, just to have that as, like, a thing to look at, so if I'm not, like, quite 100% explaining the anime correctly, at least you can see the summary on the thing, and also an image to, like, put a... What the fuck? Wow, that was a tight timer. I didn't realize how tight that was. You can put a name to the face, or whatever. That was almost first try, if not for the timer situation. Hey, Apple McAppleson. How's the audio, by the way? Audio good? This should do it. Yeah, okay. I think we just didn't start at the right time last life. I think we just, I think we just had a slow start there. Thank you for the level, QB. I'm hitting complete. And again, anyone can resubmit as much as they please. Today, tonight, all that. Am I saying tonight? It's morning time in Japan, but I'm too used to saying tonight on live streams, you understand. Sort of my go-to word. Too used to it. Macedrago, you are up. Let me hit next, and we'll do that. Also, let's start talking through the whole Japan trip. I'm going to show some photos, and let me just very quickly, like, right? There you are, Macedragon. Perfect. We'll just talk through Sapporo. I had, like, one last day in Sapporo since the last stream, and basically I went out to this onsen in the middle of nowhere, sort of like a hour or two out of Sapporo, took a bus, and it was very nice. It was an open air, and you could literally, like, walk up to the front fence and see this magnificent, like, mountain view, as well as this, like, thing. This is what, over in the upper right there, that's the onsen, and that's, like, just a little fence, fencing it off, and from there you can see, like, all these great mountains, all this great stuff. It was fucking great. There's what it looks like if you look at that painting there. Just a beautiful place and really nice to enjoy some hot springs time for a bit. Then I went to the Hot Springs Museum, which turned out to be a little hallway, which I'll say, like, I kind of regret getting off the bus there. It sort of cost me a little time that I could have spent at the Ainu Cultural Center, which was so cool. It was just a bunch of Ainu stuff set up, and they were pretty cool about it. Unlike most museums I've gone to, it's kind of a cultural thing more than a museum, a cultural center more than a museum, I guess. They had, like, a lot of this stuff, like, set up such that you're like, okay, yeah, you're encouraged to touch it. You can touch all this crap and go, like, and put on some of this clothes even. And go like, ooh, look at this, it's a bark skin shirt. Ooh, it's all rough and coarse. Look at this, it's like a rake. Wow, made of tree. Bunch of instruments here. And buildings. You know, Ainu buildings. If you don't know, the Ainu are like the native people of Hokkaido. That's pretty much all I did on that Sunday a week ago today. It was kind of a short day, all things considered, just like 2 major things taken care of. Onsen, which was so relaxing, so good. They had only 2... They only had, like, 2, What are we doing here? Yeah, let me refresh the lives, too. There we go. We lost one. They only had, like, 2... Here we go. We got it. They only had, like, 2, hot springs in there. So it wasn't like, there were, like, as many as the first hot spring that I went to this trip. But those 2 were really nice. One of them was outside and had a really lovely view of, the mountainside. Also, it was, like, delightfully cold outside. I'll say, for my time in Sapporo, the, like, northernmost capital of Japan, it was pretty much 60s and 70s all week. But that day was kind of windy and chill, to the point where whenever I wasn't, like, in the hot water, I was feeling like some cold breeze, which felt nice as a contrast. Here we go. Okay, we got a checkpoint that refreshes our doodads, and then, yeah, we lost one. Understandable. Very fair level. So that day was pretty straightforward. The Ainu Center, really enjoyed it. Really glad I went out of my way to go there. It's basically just learning about a bunch of stuff that, you know, I sort of also knew through, like, Golden Kamuy, which is a period piece set in that area, set in Hokkaido, around the time that's, like, the Ainu people were being, like, assimilated into mainstream Japanese culture. Very good, more lives. What? Oh? Okay, I see what we have to do there. I got pretty close. Ooh, we're getting this, We could do this. Yes! Perfect. How many rooms after this, you think? Oh no. Just that room. Okay, we're in the last room. Beautiful, let's do this. 4 more tries. Fuck. This is coming down to the goddamn wire here. I'll say, just to finish off the Sapporo starts, I went down to the entertainment district after getting home and getting back, and went and had a Shogun Burger, which is a popular Japanese burger chain, I guess, and just opened in Sapporo. And I got like a triple that was massive and huge. That was massive and huge. It was a lot of burger. Pretty good. I said one last goodbye to Sapporo in the morning, and then, you know, air travel thereafter. We'll not count that one. I was distracted. Okay, reset. Shit. That one has to count. Two more tries. Here we go. Now remember, we jump over. Yes! Oh! Okay, that was too damn close. GG. Thank you. Got a little, nose situation. Might need to occasionally do tissue stuff. I got tissues over here, it's fine. Don't worry about it. There we go. Level completed. And let me hit 1. And get the next one all queued up. And again, I'll say, everyone can continue to resubmit until such time as the queue is closed, which will be like towards the end of the stream, I'll say. That does it for Sapporo. Next, though, I guess actually, I'm just noticing there are a few more. Okay, you know what? I'll say I had some ice cream in the airport. Apparently, ice cream vanilla ice cream is like a Hokkaido specialty as well. It was good ice cream. I don't know. Then I got on a plane and left Hokkaido, left Osaka or Sapporo to go off to Osaka. But the next topic is not. The next topic is not Osaka in general or Kyoto or any of that. It's Universal Studios Japan. We'll talk about that in a second. But first, the next one up is Mr. Wicked. You know what? Let's just... I should do the thing. I should do the thing. Be fair to everyone. If I notify everyone that their level is up. And please confirm. 615 XN1 GDG. Beautiful, beautiful. I don't see Mr. Wicked here, so let's go into sudden death for now. If you are here, I will convert you over. Only have some unfinished levels here, so let's try, let's see... Karakupa Peaks? Sure, why not? We'll get into some of the photos from Universal Studios Japan as we get into this. I'll say, I love Universal Studios. Been to, Oh geez, you can stand on those. Okay. Lesson learned. Fuck. Those were 2 quick lives. Master Wicked, you're welcome to confirm and give me more tries. But, otherwise, yeah, we have to move on. I'll say, I love Universal Studios Orlando. I've been there many times the last 5 years, and been looking forward to this. And, you know, it was great, hey. I'll say in general, Universal Studios Japan, a great time. First thing I did there is I went in and did the Chainsaw Man ride that they have, which is sort of themed. It's sort of in like the Kung Fu Panda theater, and sort of has a lot of the same effects that, or not Kung Fu Panda, Shrek 4D. Used to be Shrek 4D here at this park, and it uses like a similar sort of technology as like Shrek 4D did back at Universal Orlando when they had that. It's just a theater with some seats that have some special effects in them. And the gimmick here is that the characters from Chainsaw Man are watching a movie with you, and then the monsters come real and they have to fight them. It's pretty alright. It doesn't really move that far. I would probably say it's below average for a Universal screen ride, but that's still alright. That's still passable. After that, walked around for a bit and saw some stuff. You know, looked around, saw the coasters that I'd be riding next, including the next one that I rode the Flying Dinosaur, which is a Superman style ride. You're like flying. It's a flying coaster. So you're sort of like facing downwards as you're like going through all these massive loops and inversions and going super fast. I thought that ride was great. It was really intense, really fun, and just a good goddamn time. I would probably put it below Manta, the other flying coaster that I've ridden, but it's still, I think, one of the best rides at Universal Studios Japan for what it is worth. J Blood, you are up. Go ahead and confirm. Let me hit next. We are good, by the way. Things are working great. Okay, yeah, there's J Blood. Fantastic. So yeah, Flying Dinosaur, hell of a ride. Really thoroughly enjoyed it. And I'll say also, I wasn't able to get Express for this trip. It turns out Express sells out like days ahead of time, like a week ahead of time, so you really have to reserve it like in advance. That's a 6, not a B. But I was still able to ride most everything I wanted to, except for one ride, which we'll talk about towards the end. Slippery Speedy Speedrun. Let's go. Okay, yeah. Let's go. I was basically able to ride everything that I wanted to. And the secret to that, single rider. Single rider is pretty strong. Oh, up there. Okay, cool. Single rider, if you don't know, is like you get into a line and they pull one person at a time to like fill up the rows. It is generally faster than the alternative, but also it feels really slow as molasses as you're in the line itself, because, you're like going one person at a time rather than, whole entire groups at a time. We missed a life there, didn't we? I'll pick that out as soon as I die. What am I saying? I'm not gonna die. Okay, I did die. There we go. Whoa. Okay. My god. We still have one life left. Let's make this one count. I'm a little confused whether you need to, like, land on that or what the plan is here. Okay. We got farther than we ever did, but it was a little bit janky, so ended up not going the distance there. Thank you for the level J Blood. Again, anyone should feel free to resubmit as much as you like until such time as the queue is closed. Let me get the next one up, which is by Lord Bowser. Jank? I don't know. There's something weird about that. We janked through. We ended up not going at full speed. That's what I mean. Not that the level is janky, just that my approach to it was. Lord Bowser is here. Fantastic. Let me refresh those lives, and I'll talk about the next thing that I did. After that, went over to the Water World stage show, which is a really cool stage show. Apparently, they also have this at Universal Studios Hollywood, but I've never been there. So, it's a stunt show. There's a lot of guys, like, riding around on like jet skis. Occasionally they come out and like just like hype up the crowd and do a bunch of like heel stuff. It's sort of like a wrestling show, honestly, but with jet skis, and at the end like a whole fucking airplane appeared out of nowhere and splashed down, and it was pretty incredible. I wasn't quite sure like what the plot was, but I had a great time watching nonetheless. And yeah, that's like a top tier show, one of the best shows I've ever seen at a Universal park or otherwise. I put that up there with the Bourne Stuntacular as far as like Universal. As far as Universal stage shows go, or whatever. Honestly, it's great. Goddamn. I also saw the Wonderland area, which seemed to have like Snoopy, Hello Kitty, and Sesame Street. Didn't go in there. Just looked at it from afar and said like, you know, I got other things to do. Like get lunch at Mel's Drive-In, same as in Orlando. There's a lot of stuff in Universal Japan that's just like a carbon copy of Universal Studios, any of the other parks, which is kind of weird. It's kind of surprising, but it's fine. Hey, I like those parks, so I'm okay seeing the same theming again somewhere else. I'll say. Let's do this. The burger was okay. It was a little bit... I feel like Japanese ketchup, even if it's by Heinz or whatever, in some cases, is a little sweeter than American ketchup, which isn't quite what I'm looking for on a burger, I guess, but it's alright. Can't go wrong with a burger. That's not true. But it was an okay burger. I would put, Universal Studios Orlando's Wimpy's above that burger, above Mel's burger, but was not a bad choice for lunch. I'll put it that way. This is just a nice little water level, very appropriate to play after Waterworld, that whole situation. I don't see anyone else in the queue right now, so hey, I'll say again, feel free to submit, or we can just do more of Lord Bowser's. That's fine too. Bunch of Lord Bowser tonight, I think would be fine. That'd be fun. Hope I'm not missing anything in chat when it's like connecting to chat all the time. From what I hear, that happens all the time with like VPNs. But that's how I had to do to get the stream to work properly and not drop quite so many frames, so it is what it is. There we go. That's the pipe. We'll do more levels from Lord Bowser. More levels from the Super World. We'll just keep on trucking. That sound good with everyone? Yeah, that sounds good.
Yeah, Mario time.
GG indeed, yes. Next up was a pair of rides, Hollywood Dream and Hollywood Backdrop. Now, these two are actually one ride, kind of. It's sort of a 2-in-1 situation, but Hollywood Dream, first off, they all have like a Rip Ride Rocket gimmick type thing where they play music, including stuff from Chainsaw Man, which I think the Chainsaw Man theme is the one to pick, by the way. But basically, it's a regular-ass roller coaster, except if you go with Backdrop, the car is backwards. And in places where it would go forwards, it goes backwards, and so forth. It's a pretty normal roller coaster if you're facing forwards, but going backwards, oh my god, it was really goddamn intense, I would say. Like, I came off that first one going forward style, going like, yeah, that was okay. That was fine. It wasn't anything special, but it was a fun ride with good forces and a really nice helix at the end. Sure, yeah. But then I went off on Backdrop, and it's like, holy fuck, man. That same ride, but backwards, is like S tier. It's like one of the best. I'll say I think it's probably the best ride I rode there, because first off, the lift hill, which you know, I'll show that again real fast. That tube there is a lift hill, and as you get towards the top, you can sort of see through it a little bit, and as you're facing backwards, you get an amazing view of the park as the drop is approaching, and you have no idea, like, when exactly it'll be. It's just a phenomenal thing, and then just so intense as you go through all the elements, and, you know, without being able to see what's what and where you're going. Hollywood Backdrop. That's S tier. The other one, somewhere between B and A, I don't know. It's pretty good, I'll say that. But also, it's like the most whatever ride at a Universal park. I would probably even say that Rip Ride Rockit has more going for it than the Hollywood Dream version of that, but Backdrop, my god. That's special. Let's just keep going with this, thing. Went to the Harry Potter area, which is basically a carbon copy to the point of, like, this wall basically being the exact same wall as where Hagrid's is, except it's a wall instead of a gateway to a ride. They have a castle. It was really nice to look at, and you could get some really good shots there, but I had to prioritize rides I hadn't ridden, you know, so I did that. I did not ride any of the Harry Potter stuff while I was there. I just sort of went there, went, huh, okay, and then walked back. By the way, also was a bit of a walk. It was separated by, like, 4 or 5 minutes of forest, which I guess is fine, but I feel like they could do stuff with that. It kind of reminded me of, like, the load zones from Tony Hawk's American Wasteland. That's what that little hallway area of boat. Still no one. We'll keep on carrying on. After that, went to the quaint English New England portside area and went on a nice boat ride. But unfortunately, during that boat ride, a shark appeared. I'm joking around. I'm talking about the Jaws ride, of course. And, you know, it's the Jaws ride that was at Universal Orlando years and years ago before they switched it for Harry Potter. And I finally got to ride it for the first time. And I'll say, it was pretty fun. Pretty alright. You sort of just sit in a boat, you get splashed a little bit, and then a shark comes and chases you around a bit. And, that's fine. That's cool. There's some explosions, which are pretty impressive. And I liked it. I would still probably defend Universal Orlando for removing it. I would say that I think they made the right decision there, honestly. I still think the whole entire massive land, Harry Potter, Gringotts, all that they got in exchange for getting rid of that boat ride was well worth it. That said, there probably was more of a land than I'm really, the, like, Amity area outside of the Jaws attraction was pretty big, so it probably wasn't switching a ride for a land, more just switching one land for another, in reality, which, you know, does affect how I think about that, but still, I think it's an okay thing that they, got rid of it at, Orlando way long back. Nice little, Bowser auto-scroll level here. Very nice. I went and saw the Minion Park, which was a Minion Park. I like the theming there, but, you know, nothing really. It was sort of similar to the Minions area at Orlando, but not quite as hot, not quite as good. It was bigger, but not quite as impressive. Probably because it was built a long time before the newer one, but, had some of the same ideas, I'll say. Hey, whatever. It was nice to see Minions. I liked seeing the Minions. I'll also say, like, looking around some of these areas, like I said, some of them are exactly the same. Like, if you've been to to Orlando, you probably recognize and been to it enough times. Like, these New York areas are pretty much like right out of the New York park. It's sort of uncanny. I went to the Conan show, which turned out to be a show where there's like 3D characters running around, and also there's some interaction with like real people, like real actors running around the audience and such. Which, I don't know. There's a lot of rides at Universals that have like pre-shows where like a staff member will do part of the plot, and this sort of just felt like you're in a screen ride and the people from the pre-show you know, wandered in and started like doing scenes alongside the things, alongside the characters. That's sort of how it felt to me. I wasn't terribly impressed by it, but I sort of had an hour to fill until my reservation to get into Nintendo, and I wanted to do another ride, but the wait was like long enough where I was worried about getting in. Hey, Apple McAppleson. If you want to submit a level, now's a great time, I'll say. Ooh, we did it. Very nice. Whoa. How about a drink of my water? That sounds like a good idea. Oh, we're in World 1. That's right, we had to reset the progress because you reset the thing. Well, we got a lot of levels to go through then, so that's good. Hey. World 2, that's right, hey. Whatever. Case closed, Detective Conan is fine. Whatever. Here's some shots of the park. Apple McAppleson, let me add that for you. I'll add that for you, but you go like this, Apple Appleson. Okay? I'm gonna hit complete on this one, and we'll go to Apple Appleson's level. And feel free, Lord Bowser, to get that back in there, and we'll do more of the Super World as the night continues. That sound good? That sounds good. I got you, Apple McAppleson. I've submitted this for you, and now we can do this. Oh, has the image has been on screen this whole time? Whatever. Hey, after that I went to Super Nintendo World. Hopefully the image was not on screen while I was doing the actual gameplay. Sorry about that, folks, if it was. Went to Nintendo World, which was also connected to the main park through like a foresty pathway, which I think wasn't as appropriate, didn't feel as good as for Harry Potter, but whatever, that's fine. It was beautiful. Beautiful, like, theming, coins and blocks and such, and I saw this piranha plant, which was really beautiful, like, animatronic, and then went over to the Mario Kart. The Mario Kart, was pretty cool. There's another shot of the thing. There you are, hey, Lord Bowser, look, hey, there's you. There's you, Lord Bowser. There's a beautiful statue of Bowser in the thing. You get these hats, which are sort of like hard hats, but with Mario caps on them. And into that, you, like, strap in, like, a VR headset situation that sort of overlays characters as you're driving through. And you sort of turn your head to, like, aim at them and fire shells at them. It's sort of a shooting gallery type thing. I think it's better than any of the previous shooting gallery rides that Universal has done. I would put it above Men in Black. I would put it above Villains Con. But that doesn't put it anywhere near Toy Story, I'll say. It was like a good A-tier, B-tier attraction. But it was fun, hey? And I'll say, like, it went through a lot of different areas as far as the Mario stuff goes, as far as, like, Mario Kart areas. Then I went over to Yoshi's. Beautiful queue, lots of detail. Toadette was there briefly. And you can see that sign, which sort of explains that there's a gimmick where you have to, like, match the color of the egg as you see the egg. That sign is in the Yoshi's Island style. It's in the Yoshi's Island style. Look, it has the green, and it has the white, and the checkerboard type pattern on the edge. I don't know if that's called a checker. What do you call that? It's authentic, man. When I realized this, I was like, oh shit. Oh my god, that's just that. It's a kid's ride, though. You get in, and you ride around. You get a really good shot of, like, the DK area from there, which you can sort of see over the facade. But otherwise, you just, like, see eggs, take pictures, and, whatever. I would say that it is a ride for kids. You don't need to ride it if you're adults, but it does give you a good view of the Nintendo World area for what it's worth. The Donkey Kong area was not open, but, you know, I'll see it in Orlando soon enough. I went and got some spaghetti at the cafe, which sort of tasted like Stouffer's, and I mean that as a compliment. Stouffer's spaghetti that you get out of a microwave. And, yeah, that's the Nintendo area. Hello, person. Beautiful, beautiful place. We just got a little bit of, Universal Studios Japan talk left, and then we'll, talk about the Nintendo Museum. Real fast, like, which I also saw this week, again. ECG, perfect. Okay, let's go. Did I type that in right? No, I didn't. That's a 6, not a G. Hello, person. Feel free to submit a level. Multiple problems. 6HO DCG. Alright. We already did this one, Apple McAppleson, but let me pick out a different one from your maker thing. In fact, you have a Super World here. Why don't we just do that? That sounds good. Hope you get in the Nintendo World in Orlando so you don't have to take a fucking plane. Yeah, that'll be easier. That'll be easier. I'm sure you will, Lord Bowser. It shouldn't be that hard to get into, especially if you're looking at, like, off-season times. Let's do it. This is just a normal-ass level. Very nice. Very Nintendo Land. This is the sort of theming that Nintendo Land just has. I'll say, like, those two rides didn't really impress me all too terribly. The ones at Nintendo Land already, but it was just fun being in a Nintendo-themed area that was just themed to the nines, immaculately, beautifully. Like, oh my god, they really did not rest on their laurels with this Nintendo area. It's beautiful. It's amazing. It's goddamn impressive. I'm gonna hit complete Apple McAppleson. If you want to write down your maker code and submit that for me instead of the level code, let me pull that up for a second here so you can see it. If you don't have access to a Switch or something, let's say. Right there. As the person, you're missing a few characters there, which, there you go, okay. Use a replace to resubmit that, by the way, to get that properly sorted out. There's your code, Apple, if you want to send that instead of the other thing. Replace and then the code. Replace and then the code. Thank you. Let me hit, complete. And then we'll bring up the next one, which is by Lord Bowser. Fantastic. Fantastic Apple McAppleson. The bot is just being a little slow. It should respond to that in a second. You might want to resend Apple McAppleson. I think it got a little confused because multiple commands went out at once. Try again. Sometimes the bot gets, like, loaded down. Okay? Thank you. Thank you for understanding the bot is sometimes weird. Ooh. So yeah, after that, I left the Nintendo area, booking it over to the last ride I wanted to ride before the park closed. I saw some Halloween Horror Night stuff going on the way. Apparently, there were scare actors running around doing, like, scary stuff. There you go, perfect. And the ride I was trying to go on was the Demon Slayer ride, which I think is like a VR version of Space Fantasy, which is a indoor roller coaster that spins. Unfortunately, it turns out they closed that line like a half hour before the park closed, and I arrived a half hour before the park closed, so I wasn't able to get in there and ride the motherfucker. But that's Universal. That's the whole Universal experience. I quite enjoyed my time there. It was a great day, and despite a lot of it being like repeated, or the same as in Universal Orlando, there was enough stuff to ride that was original and see that was original to the park itself. I wish that I could have done Demon Slayer instead of Conan, but also, I don't know, maybe VR coasters are weird and janky and queasy making. So maybe it's perfectly fine I didn't get to go on it. I don't know. That's the one regret I have. And, hey, if considering I wasn't able to get Express, I'm probably lucky that I was able to ride basically everything that I wanted to do. Other than that one last ride. Very good. Would I recommend Universal Studios Japan? Absolutely. The two coasters that I rode were fantastic and great fun. 2/2.5. It has good original coasters and some very fun... Fuck.
Oh no!
Original type rides. I would give it a full recommendation. I got one more theme park left this trip. Tomorrow I'm departing for Fuji-Q Highlands, and I got 3 nights there in the park hotel. I will say, last I looked at the weather, it was not good. It's like heavily raining my first full day there, and like lightly raining my second full day, so I gotta make a decision whether I'm going on day 1 or day 2. And if I'm going on the light rain day, I guess that means like all the other Fuji area tourism I intended to do will be all screwy. You can't account for such things. Checkpoint refreshes are guys. Let's do it. Ooh. That's right, this is sand dunes. Don't mind me, I'm just gonna lay back and not talk for a second. Hey, got that money. Japan is great. I just finished talking about Universal Studios Japan, and we're about to start talking about the Nintendo Museum. Again, I am prioritizing the 2 biggest things I did first and foremost, and then we'll get into general Osaka and general Kyoto stuff. Not in chronological order quite. Wonderful. Got that money. If you got a level for me, fantastic. Thank you. Good, okay. We got a good supply of levels. I love to see it. Okay, I'm hitting 1. Whoopsie daisy. I hit it too fast. Person is up next. Person just submitted just now. Is good for us. How about we just forego status checks from here on out and just play the regular amount of lives regardless, just to make things a little bit simpler. Yeah, let's do that. That's nice and good. Okay. Are you streaming on YouTube? Yes, I'm streaming on both. By the way, I'll say the laptop battery is holding up perfectly good. We're about an hour in to the stream, an hour and change, hour 20, and we're at 91% power, so we'll have plenty of time to get through this whole thing before that becomes a problem. Good, okay, it's still draining due to OBS taking a lot of power, more power than the power cable is providing, but it's not draining fast enough where I won't be able to finish the stream in a relaxed manner. Okay. Hey, let me talk about that Nintendo World. Start talking about that. So this was Friday. This was like 2 days ago. I had a morning appointment at 10:30. Showed up an hour early because I wasn't sure like how long it would take me to get through the train situation. And, got in at the right time. It's funny, I saw there were some real big coincidences in line. First off, the second people in line were also from Dallas-Fort Worth, which was somewhat of a surprise. And also, I shit you not. Do you remember I showed off my Bowser shirt? You know, the shirt that's black? Hang on, let me... You know this shirt, right? I saw someone at the Nintendo Museum wearing this shirt, which, I saw that and I was like, holy shit! My god, if I had worn that shirt on that day, what would be the fucking odds of that? I actually wore that the previous day, and I did the Glover shirts on that day. Both of those, I think, are SGDQ shirts from ages ago, so it kind of makes sense that, someone would happen to have them, but goddamn, I saw that and I was like, holy fucking shit. Wow, the people going to the Nintendo Museum are just like me. Very, very similar. A lot of us tourist types. Was a lovely outside. They had tiles shaped like coins and Goombas. And, here's the full view of it. You can see there's Koopas and a big mushroom. It's a whole thing. Went in, big Nintendo Museum thing. There was like a map. I saw those big pillows shaped like controllers. You can see that they're massive to the point where they really wouldn't fit in my apartment, unfortunately. If they were like half as small, if they were like throw pillow sized, I would have gotten a Nintendo 64 one, but that size of Nintendo 64 controller, too awkward. The Wii ones are pretty good. They're like body pillow sized, but I don't know, I'm not really as into the Wii necessarily, where I would have a body pillow for the Wii. There's the cool mural, and also, I'll say, just as, just for reference, you could not take pictures in the main area of the Nintendo Museum. But I took copious notes, and between levels, we'll, like, just rattle through them, and, just go like, okay, I saw this, I saw that, I saw, there's this, there's that. It's a big, massive room, around which there's many displays for each console generation. What are we doing here? Let me look. Let me read the description. Sorry, person. This is a boss rush level. Okay, so this is a boss rush level. There must just be like a power-up choosing gimmick here or something, right? Something like that. Or maybe it's random. Maybe it's random. No, how could that be? Not sure what that does. I think it probably maybe randomized something for us. Okay, I see. It's just a boss fight. It's just a boss fight level. We had to wait a second. During that, I'll just start with some of the notes. So, there are consoles organized by areas. There are also, like, the SKUs of the consoles with the guts exposed on some of them. Lots of complete-in-box games. Positional audio is neat, so there's, like, dozens of screens, and if you stand in front of each one, you hear the gameplay that's playing on it, which was really neat. Chrono Trigger and DKC are key titles of the SNES. They showed like key titles of each of the games, of each of the consoles, as well as just like a smattering of other things. I thought that the Yoshi Island box art was really pretty. They have release dates as specific as they can be, accessories, transparent 64s, and of course, Banjo-Kazooie is a key title of the N64. I knew that, and Nintendo knows it as well. Episode 1 Racer was there. The IQ was there. Giant controllers. Beautiful. You look up, you see giant controllers above each of the exhibits. My god, they are amazing. Them giant controllers, like, so beautifully modeled. Is this survival, or is this I need to deliver a shell? I don't know, but let's, figure it out. That's the wrong one. There were beautiful controllers above everything, as well as backside exhibits. I realized, like, after the third one, that there's exhibits on the backside, which give, like, information about, like, what stuff started on there, notable developments in each generations, and some more details about everything. Like, oh, there's a part that shows all the 3 ways of holding an N64 controller, that sort of thing. Or, like, how the GameCube had a GBA connection gimmick. Really neat. Sonic Adventure 2 is a key GameCube game. That is true. As well as the other one. Cubivore was there. I saw Cubivore playing on a screen and shouted, Cubivore! The white N64 or GameCube controller, never seen that before, but it looked really clean. Wii, no comment. Kinda had no comment on the Wii. Never... I mean, I like a lot of Wii games, but as a generation, I guess I'm just, like, not nearly as strong on any of them as I am about, like, anything else. I think this is just survival. Oh, hang on. Throw a shell into the bottom right switch. Oh, there's a bottom right switch! I just realized that. Okay, relax. Relax too much there, I guess. There were amiibos in the Wii U area. Regional box art basically goes away by the, like, Wii U era. Mario Maker's a key game for Wii U, by the way, hey. The giant Wiimote did look amazing, by the way. It had, like, the transparent button. That looked amazing when it was big and massive. The Mii Fighter amiibos were in the display. Fancy that. I'd say that as someone who mains Mii Brawler. I thought that was interesting. And Mario Maker was its own franchise, started on the Wii U. Pikmin 4 is a key Switch title. Okay, there's recent games, Mario Maker 2, Banjo-Kazooie amiibo, K. Rool amiibo, tabletop mode mentioned, remember that, and N64 Online, and all that. That's like sums up about like an hour of wandering around looking at all the console exhibits, which were all really neat. And again, you could not take pictures of them, so I did what I could to, shit. I did what I could to make copious notes. Arguably, way too copious, I'll admit. Never had original Game Boy, so that didn't really interest me much, but it was cool that Land and Land 2 and Land 3 were there. There's an interesting thing about Land 3, which is that it was a Game Boy Color game in Japan. And again, that's a typo. Though it was a black and white game in America, because it came out later in Japan, which is really neat. If you ever... I think someone made a mod to play that version, but on, with the English. They made like a mod for that. Let's see now, looking down this list, anything else worth saying? there were giant screens that had like cardboard cutouts of the various handheld consoles, and they had like TVs that were at various angles showing all the gameplay, which was really neat to see. That's was one of the neater things in that area. I like to see the giant DS Fat. There was a Virtual Boy area, which was pretty cool. You could like, there were like a bunch of Virtual Boys in the wall, and you could lean in and see like gameplay of it, which made me queasy, honestly. So whatever. Picross DS and Jungle Climber were featured. Didn't see the Castlevanias though, which is kind of sad. Super Mario Maker 3DS was there, and yeah, crap. Okay, good. I was wondering where. We'll. That's the portable areas. There are also a bunch of like cool side displays. There we go. We just need to do this 3 times, right? Cool. Okay, God. This is a hard one. I feel like it's getting a little bit heated in this hotel room. But, whatever. There were side displays as well, including, like, history of Nintendo, all the toys they used to make, which there was just a big variety of them. Not just cards, but they made, like, board games, they made, like, light gun devices. They made a bunch of weird stuff before getting into games. Starting from, I think, Game & Watch, which was neat to see, and, you know, then the NES. There were a whole bunch of instruction manuals, including the DKC English one, which, that's an instruction manual that's near and dear to my art, honestly, and seeing it there represented made me feel good. There was also, like, the Mario 64 manual that has, like, 30 little boxes that show, like, okay, A, to jump, A to like do a A to do like a triple jump. You know, that's how they used to explain movesets in the N64 era. I remember Banjo-Kazooie having a very similar arrangement. Eventually, they showed like tutorials instead of manuals, which was an interesting transition and a good way to represent it. And there was a whole display for question mark blocks, which included the EGAD blocks, ads, music, make and play included Mario Maker, a bunch of level screenshots with the Mario Maker part. I really wonder where they got those, if they were like in-house creations, or if they just pulled level screenshots from just anyone. Imagine if your level was in there. Where's the Pikmin? Where's the Pikmin? Come on. Hang on, let me check something. Connections. Okay. There we go. It was just screwy. Okay. Let me get you. Fucking. I got you. Hang on. Let me, there we go. It's working now. There you go. I just did 20 for you. Happy? Happy. Okay. B9, there you have it. Fixed. Okay. There were also phone games, and, a bunch of walls that had a bunch of, like, a single franchise on it, which included Donkey Kong, Mario, and, you know, Zelda. A whole bunch. Motion control games, and a wall on things. There was the big display showing a single franchise at a time. across generations that had... There's a whole display, right, that had, like, 7 monitors all left to right, right? And each one was playing a different game on it. Or, like, you know, like Ocarina here, Wind Waker here, Breath of the Wild here. And they'd basically be doing the same thing. Like, okay, it's all the Kirby games where they're fighting the tree. And I really enjoyed sitting there for a while, watching the Donkey Kongs go by, seeing a bunch of barrel blasting all happening across the generations, seeing a bunch of minecart happening across the generations. It was real damn neat. And then last, I looked at the prototype zone, which was really neat. There's a whole thread on Twitter right now. Obviously, there's no photos because it's restricted. I'm sure they'll leak out eventually. But, there was an SNES controller prototype with all red buttons. There was an Ultra 64 controller that had, like, black C buttons. GameCube one where the... sort of a circle with a circle around it. Sort of like a remote control. It looked like a remote control, Jesus, it's hard to explain, but there was like a circle with a circle around it for like the button thing, with like 4 semicircular buttons all in a circle around it, and then one other button, and then a really offset C-stick. It was really weird. So many prototypes, it was amazing. And some arcade machines as well. Ooh. That covers the stuff that I could not take pictures of at the Nintendo Museum. It was, intense. I probably fucked up by waiting so long. Let me reset the timer so that we don't time out. I won't count this as a try. It was an amazing place to just walk around and take it all in and do exhibits. And, I would highly recommend it if you're into that sort of thing. If you like Nintendo and, fuck. Wouldn't mind learning a thing or two about it. Try throwing the shell as the Koopa is fired from the cannon. Gotcha, yeah, that'd be a good idea. We're on our last try, by the way. Or we can wait until there's another Koopa just here. Dang it. Damn it! Ah! Thank you for the level, person. Let me hit, dismiss. Get the next one up. By Apple McAppleson. Fantastic. I'll just start punching that in. Thank you for the good tries, yes. We'll just refresh our lives real fast for Apple. And we're not going to bother checking for people being here or not right now. Let me just keep things moving. I'll say there were some displays downstairs, which I believe we were okay to take pictures of. That whole downstairs area was in the clear. So I took some pictures of, like, controller exhibits. There was, like, a card exhibit that went from, you know, Hanafuda, whatever, to, like, Pokemon cards, to like, what's it, like, Amiibo cards? Which was an interesting through line to make. Like, okay, wow, yeah. No, you wouldn't necessarily connect Hanafuda and Pokemon, but I guess it is, there are still cards, and there is, like, somewhat of an abstract connection between them, which this museum makes for you. Then, of course, there were the interactive areas, one of which involved, like, oh, you could play a bunch of games. There's, one of the light gun things. Apparently you shot that, and, you might know from the WarioWare game, minigame, microgame, where you shoot him, and, he sort of slouches over a bit. Let's do it. Let's do Apple McAppleson, and we'll do the Super World. Again, feel free to resubmit, all that, until such time as the queue is closed. As far as interactive stuff, they had, They had a love tester machine, which I did not avail myself of, being just a single person there. They had, like, Game & Watch, where, like, you could play with your shadow, so you had to go, like, boop, 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 boop. Pretty tiring, but kind of fun. You could play some video games. There was a thing where you could, like, use this claw grabby thing from their past as a toy company, which I did not try. Neither did I try the shooting gallery thing. You could only do, like, a certain amount with the coins that they give you, and I chose to focus on the giant, controllers. As you can see there's one of them. There's another one. I did, the N64 one. Did the Mario World, where you do the, you run around and collect 50 coins. They are designed to do, like, 2-player, and it's sort of, like, set up so that when you scan in one, as one player, it's like, scan in a second player. And I was a little concerned that it wouldn't work, but it turns out when you do that, a staff member will run over and go like, oh, okay, hang on, bang, and scan one of their own cards, and that will, sort it out. And let you play single player, which is pretty nice. It was a lot of fun to play with these giant, massive controllers. I also did DKC2 just on a regular-ass, thing. I thought it was a fun idea to play DKC2 in the Nintendo Museum. I also did the thing where it throws balls at you and you hit them with this wiffle bat. And if you hit stuff in the rooms, stuff will happen. Like, if you hit those shelves, they'll sort of collapse, comically. If you hit that bucket, a little prawn plant will come out and it'll sing the song from Mario Wonder at you. Pretty cool. Here's all the games that they had, by the way. You can look at there, if you like. But I basically already covered them all. I did the SNES and did Mario World. That was fun. And I also did the Wii. I did the Wii area. And turns out the Wii doesn't have actual buttons. It's just motion controls on that one, which was kind of a shame because they're, like, not as fancy, not as, like, intricate as the Nintendo 64 or NES fake controllers. But it was fine, whatever. I also think, like, the fact that you had to play the Wii Resort game is sort of a bummer as well. I'll say there was also a balance board giant controller game, which I guess, yeah, that's fine. I feel like giant balance board isn't that different from regular balance board, but what do I know? I guess you can get 2 players on it if it's giant, so that's probably the major thing. Cool. Nice level, Apple McAppleson. Very good. Let me hit,
Mario time.
complete. What are Pikmin? Pikmin are, little guys that appear in the Pikmin series. Oh, you're wondering what they are in the channel thing. You can throw Pikmin at me in, with those channel points, and they'll, like, be pelted at me. It's a whole thing. You might have seen it. Other people sometimes avail themselves of it. It's only on the Twitch side because that's what the application worked with. I have them up. I have those up. Those should be working. Thank you for the level, Apple McAppleson. Got That Money is up next. Got That Money. Let's do this. Also, I'll finish off my Nintendo World thoughts. So, in the exit, there was, like, one more area that you couldn't photograph, which had a bunch of, like, announcement models of, like, how consoles were announced versus, like, how they launched, which was really neat to see, like, a physical version of, like, oh, the original DS that had, like, a black inlet on, like, black borders around both of the screens, and then gray the rest of the way, and, like, the Ultra 64, and also the way that they launched as well. It was a nice way to, like, step back through history. There's also some models in the shop. Models of the whole museum. Some player's guides for some reason, which I thought were cool to look at, especially because they feature things such as, like, Jungle Climber and Mario Maker 3DS. You can also see Mario Maker 2 back there behind Odyssey. I really don't know what the fuck that Mario Maker 2 book could be. Like, they weren't making player's guides in that era, were they? I also thought these shirts were cool. The Virtual Boy and the disc player, disc thing shirt. What's it say? Disc system. Disc system shirts. This Nintendo Switch shirt is a classic. There are some cool pens. Those pillows again. I went and had a customized burger at the cafe, which was kind of gross, but whatever. And saw these on the way out, which were nice and free and ready to be taken a picture of. And then yeah, I was out of there. That's the Nintendo Museum. There we go. We finished talking about the Nintendo Museum. Cool. I spent maybe like 4 hours there. That Friday. 3-4 hours there. And had a great time seeing everything. Going through everything. One thing at a time. If you like museums, I think this is my favorite museum that there's ever been. That I've ever attended. And I'll say I don't like art museums. I don't like ones that are just art. But as far as like stuff museums go, this was the best one I've ever seen. The interactive stuff was really fun, and the exhibits were like so cool, so cool. Oh, water. Let's play this level. If I got that money. Again, we're not going to worry about whether people are here. Next, I will just start talking about, we've covered the two main things that I did in Osaka and Kyoto, right? My two biggest days, the biggest destinations. Now we'll get into some other more scattered topics, okay? Osaka General, Kyoto General. And then Nara, and then we'll end, okay? That all sound good? Nara was just like half a day, it'll be quick. How long we been going, by the way? This is a fun level, I'm liking it. We've been going around, 2 hours. Hour and change. Very nice. Stream seems to be holding up. We have dropped very few frames relatively. Excellent. I'm happy that this stream is less of a disaster than the last one. Which, I'll say by the way, if you didn't see the last stream, which had so much going wrong for it. Like, first off, I forgot to put my OBS into regular mode. It was in broadcast testing mode, which means that it wasn't actually connected to Twitch, it was just testing the bandwidth. So I didn't actually go live on Twitch last week. The other thing that went wrong, though I was on just jumped off a cliff. The pipe was the answer. I was live on YouTube for what it was worth. I did go live on YouTube, that worked fine. It was just that Twitch was completely not streaming, which I felt so goddamn awful when I realized that. I'll say, like, oh my god. And keep in mind, this also follows that stream. A bunch of other issues, like, I mentioned that the power was an issue. I was encoding separately for the stream and for the local recording, which meant that I was consuming enough power such that by the end of the 3 hours, my laptop was basically dead, even though it was plugged in. It was pretty stressful. What else? Oh yeah, I got a call from the office, from, like, the front desk saying, like, keep the noise down, keep the noise down. Apparently, streaming at night has the downside of being super audible, especially if you're loud like me, and I'm loud like me. It was, it was a disaster. Not that today has been without challenge, I'll say. I've been a little under the weather. Little under the weather. Last night was particularly awful. I was just like... My nose would not start running until like 3 a.m., where I took another dose of my, of the cold medicine I got, and that stopped things up real nice and good. And I was able to get a nice night of sleep. And, then in the morning I found out that my Hakone hotel canceled on me because PayPal didn't go through. A little bit sick is what under the weather means. A little bit sick. Sinus. And sore throat, and coughing. And I had to call them and get the reservation back, which I have managed to do, but I don't have a private onsen in my room anymore. So that's kind of a bummer, but what can you do, right? I'll manage, I'll manage. Thank you, got that money. Great stuff, I'm hitting complete. It's been a stressful trip, but I have seen so much. I have done so much. I have gotten pretty much everything I planned on done, except for one ride at Universal Studios Japan. Which, by the way, Dia is up. I want to talk about the next thing, the next category, which is Osaka. I landed there. I got off the plane using like a stair car thing, which was funny. I haven't done one of those before, and then took a bunch of trains over to Dotonbori, which is the really cool like nightlife town, and spent that first night just like hanging around, looking around. It's really famous for like its huge posters and like advertisements all over, and also the amazing views at night. This is it during like the daybreak. I arrived just at daybreak. I had some kushikatsu, which are sort of like fried things on sticks that are really like just a random assortment of whatever the fuck. Like various sorts of eggs, various vegetables, roots. You can see there, like, I got some crab claws and like crab legs and stuff like that. It was a really fun dinner. And then there's like some malls. There's like the restaurant area, which is also pretty cool, even if it's not on the river. And like, yeah, no, at night, the river is just lit up beautifully. You can see reflections of all the lights and stuff. And it's just great. Also, by the way, I saw this Don Quixote last time I was here in Japan. I didn't realize last time that's a carousel. There's people in those little circles. The circles are moving, no less. So this time I went and, after taking a few more pictures of the very cool advertisements, which, again, you can see there, people are lining up to take pictures of. They love it. They love that Running Man in particular. Everyone's going and doing like this, taking the picture with it. That is probably the most famous advertisement of the bunch. After taking a few more choice pictures, I went on that Ferris wheel, which was alright. It's, you know, not the greatest view. The glass was a little bit scuffed up, so the photos were not, like, pristine either. But it was fun. Also, I think it's fun that there's, like, video games in sight of the pornography area of Don Quixote. It's always fun to me to see, like, oh, here's the games, here's the pornography. Cool. That's great. Hey, it's Paper Mario RPG. And over there is some sex toys, for lack of a better word. Then I went to the arcade and played a bunch of stuff there. I played that with anime tunes. This thing was really cool. Look at this. Oh, wow. Thank you for the raid, Moyako. I'm just going over my, Japan trip, Dotonbori, the place that I'm at right now. Just covering that real fast. Played some arcade machines. Look at this. So, this arcade machine, you had to, like, match the keys as it was coming down. And in cases, you'd have to, like, slide the keys that you're pressing over, or otherwise, like, grab those things up top and, like, go, like, left and right accordingly to the rhythm. It was really cool. I played a lot of that. It's probably, like, my favorite rhythm game I've ever played, maybe. I don't know. That was really neat. Again, Dotonbori, hell of a place, really cool advertisements, great at night. And, yeah. Let's play this level. Sorry for, the extended talking about stuff, but I want to get through this. I'll say I took, like, so many photos in general, going and seeing all these things I've been seeing. But, elaborate on the porn? There were real holes. Apparently that's a thing. I don't know what the deal is there. I can sort of imply what the deal is. You know, it seems like there's, like, pictures of specific ladies, and the thing says, like, real hole, and you get the idea, like, okay, this is like a fleshlight. Is it modeled after? Okay. Is it exactly what it sounds like? I don't know. That's the thoughts I have looking at the real holes and going like, my word, I'm not gonna look this up. I'm not gonna look this up after and be informed about what a real hole is. You'll take 10. I wonder if you can get them online. Okay, this is a level where we can't leave the ground. Fantastic. We need to think fast. We need to think fast here. Fuck. Did not think fast. We're learning, folks. Anyway, damn it. We can at least see what's coming. Okay, so we need to get that bomb to the right here. We need to land on it such that it goes this way, land on it again, and then go up. Okay, now we're learning good. Last life, let's go. We got the idea, but we couldn't do it. Thank you for the level. I think it's really cool. Wasn't able to get that much progress in it. Hey, thank you 06i for the level. Fantastic. Refresh the levels for the next person and hit dismiss. Lord Bowser, you are up. Also, I'll say, feel free to resubmit after your level is played, or your code is played. I would love to have another crack at any place. Favorite place so far? Probably the Nintendo Museum. Probably the Nintendo Museum, if I had to say. Which I talked about earlier. Let's go more into general Osaka stuff. So, a couple days after I landed, I did a bunch of Kyoto stuff in USJ. The first couple days. On Thursday, I did a handful of of Osaka random things, including this very large bridge. It's a really large bridge, like the height of several people, and it was fun walking over it and going like, oh wow, goddamn, this bridge is very tall. Like, look at that. There's some people on it for reference. Also, it was really rainy that day, which was kind of a shame since I had to deal with the rain. One of the reasons why I did USJ right out the gate is I wanted to do it on a clear day, and that was probably the right decision. This bridge was still cool to see in the rain, and because it was rainy, it was pretty empty, maybe, so that was nice. After that, went to Osaka Castle, which is a sort of a tourist trap at this point. You can see there's a bunch of, like, ramparts and things of that nature, like a moat. Here's, like, one moat. There's another moat that's just, like, full of stuff. I think you're good, B9. I think you're... Not sure why it didn't let you replace that, B9. That's bizarre. Let me check and see what happened. Oh, you're good, B9. You're good. Don't worry about it. Okay. So, really big castle. And inside is just a lovely museum that is just full of cool things. It's not like an authentic building. It was, like, rebuilt at some point, as you can see in this scale model replica. But you'll see, like, helmets, you'll see, like, scale models of the whole thing. Thumb got into that one. Damn it. Like, a whole bunch of, like, armies set up to fight. Some murals, and the life of Hideyoshi Toyotomi, if you care about that, which I did not read this time. And some nice views of the city as well, which are great. Let's play the level, and then we'll talk about more Kyoto stuff, or Osaka stuff after. This was just a whole day where I was just going out and getting done as many of the Osaka things as I could, which, to be honest, there aren't really that many of. You can basically do all of Osaka stuff in, like, a single day. Maybe 2.5, maybe 2. If you're counting, like, Dotonbori separately. And there's also Denden, which is sort of like the otaku capital of Osaka, which, to be fair, is not very big. It's not super big, but whatever. Osaka Castle is a great tourist place. I'll say this time, last time there was like a funny little train that brought me in most of the way. This time I don't think that train was running. Or maybe I came in a different way, I'm not sure, but I wasn't able to ride the train. Instead, I just had to walk in, which was a bit of a shame considering how much I've been walking in general, but what are you gonna do? It's nice to see the castle. The castle is great. One of the best things in Osaka for sure. Japan is small, so it's nice how you can go almost all the places. Yeah, and there's so much of it that's pretty close together, just oftentimes linked by like a 30 to 1 hour train ride. Though I'll say in Osaka/Kyoto, in Kyoto especially, sometimes you have to rely more on buses, which are a little bit more hit and miss, unfortunately. You know what I mean? A little bit more like, okay, so when is this bus coming? That sort of situation, which can be tough to plan around. But, you know, it is what it is. Let me talk about the next thing. So after that, I went to the Umeda Sky Building, which is this really cool building. You can see there's some fountains outside. Don't worry about that. It's this really cool building that's 2 buildings with a top hat on top connecting the 2. And connecting one building to the other side of that top hat is 2 escalators that cross over nothing. And those are just so cool to enter and exit into, to get into that top hat area. Inside there's a lovely... There's also... Okay, for a start, there's a downstairs area that's modeled like historical Japan, right? Which is really, really quaint. I got some duck rice, and I also got some fried chicken, some karaage, which both were really good. There's the outside of that particular shop. Looked around there for a bit. Very quaint. And then, yeah, you go up in that little elevator that's sort of disconnected from the rest of the buildings, and then take the escalators up the top. There's the escalators from the outside. Since it was rainy, it was kind of hard to see, like, out through the escalators, but you can still see there somewhat that there's city down there, as well as the other escalator, which is both really cool to see. In the top hat, there's some displays about, like, historical buildings that sort of goes all the way to, like, modern buildings and then, like, space travel, which is a fun little theme. There's also, like, models of the building, and I got to go outside for the first time, which was fun. I wasn't able to go to the roof last time, 6 years ago, because it was closed at the time, and so I was able to get some nice, unobstructed views of the city, and also you can see what the escalators look like from above. Just really slick, just really cool. Hell of a damn thing. Yeah. Ooh. I love that goddamn building. That goddamn building is one of the cooler places in Osaka. And I think it is my favorite of the, like, favorite of the tall towers that you go up on and get, like, a vista view of the city in, that I've been to. I think it's my favorite one of those, and that is a contested genre. In Japan, there are a lot of those towers that you can go up and see a nice view of the city from. Whether it's the Tokyo Tower, the Kyoto Tower, you know, there's the thing in Shinsekai that you could do. By far, the Sky Building is my super favorite. Alright, cool, good, beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. I'll say, of the cities that I've been to, Tokyo is the easiest to get around. The train system is the most complete there, and you'll never have to rely on a bus, most generally, most broadly. But, it's been alright otherwise, I don't know. I really can't complain. Thank you for the level, Lord Bowser. Let me hit complete and bring up the next one. And again, feel free to resubmit as I clear these. After that, I went to the Osaka, like, beachfront or port area. I went to the aquarium, near which was a Legoland that I took a picture of some of the stuff from, which is, you know, cool. Here's that aquarium. Turns out, though, I had to wait like an hour to get in, because sometimes that's how it do in Japan. You get somewhere and you find out, like, oh, come back at 4 o'clock. It's 2:45 right now. Okay. But that was fine. I went and looked around, saw some of the Lego stuff, saw this funny little boat, some funny little boats around, saw the Lego store, and then watched ReZero for a while waiting for my appointment with the fishes. But I went through there, saw a lot of fishes, some mammals that are sea mammals as well, which were cool. These guys were funny. These guys were just swimming against the glass, just constantly getting real fucking close, which was really cute and adorable and funny. I don't know if they could see us and were like, hey, 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 what are you doing over there? But that was really lovely. These guys were sleeping. That was really cute. That's a cute fella. The main attraction, though, not the penguins. The main attraction, though, had to be not the porpoises, the main tank, which was full of, like, a variety of fishes, including, like, great whites. I don't know if those are great whites. Whale shark. They're whale shark. That's what it is. A whale shark. Like, types of smaller shark. Hammerheads. There's some smaller. There's the hammerheads. There were some small displays at the side. And as you saw these fish, you'd, like, go around and keep on going down in a circle and see the same big, large tank from, like, lower angles as you went, as well as seeing, like, other fish in other tanks, like this one. It was really cool, and, just as much as delight, as before. Yeah, I watched the first episode of ReZero Season 3, that's right. Mostly while waiting for the aquarium, but I finished it off once I got home. Bunch of fish on the floor, crabs, fish on the floor, shark on the floor. There's a sleeping shark going like, op, 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 op. What a rad aquarium, what a rad aquarium. I'll say, having been to an aquarium and a zoo, these last 2 weeks, I think the aquarium is much cooler than the zoo. You get a lot more animals in each exhibit, and also there's a main event, which is just a tank that has everything in it. Whereas in a zoo, I guess you can't really do that. Every exhibit just has one, and, you know, what you get is what you get. There was, like, a exhibit up for, like, coral reef fish, which was cool. Last time I went to this aquarium, like, 6 years ago, it was like a nocturnal fish exhibit, which was also interesting, but I'd like to see the coral stuff. And, yeah, that was just a use of an afternoon, I guess. I think it probably says something that, like, Osaka has the number of things to do such that at the end of the day, I'm going to an aquarium rather than something I couldn't see elsewhere, right? Like, okay, it's aquarium time, because I'm kind of out of ideas as far as, like, other things I want to see in Osaka. I could have gone to the cup. I could have gone to the cup. Yeah, you're right. We didn't need that many lives. Yeah, no, that was free, as the title of this level is literally called. Thank you. I should have started that level earlier. Whatever. I was talking about stuff. You understand. You understand. Ooh. So yeah, the fishes were great. Then after that, I went to Shinsenkai, which is this very cool little street that has a bunch of shops with very elaborate displays, including this one and this one. It's one of the areas in Osaka that you might know of. I went to the one with the giant boat, which turns out to be a pretty fancy place. There was some McDonald's as well. Pretty fancy place. You can catch your own fish if you want, in like these little fish tanks that they have. Pretty cool gimmick. I just ended up ordering, though. I got some grilled eel, which I've never had eel before, and I found it to be very rich, and paired with the rice to like tone it down a little bit, turned out to be like a perfect combination. I've never had grilled eel, and I think I liked it. I think I'm coming up positive on that. And then, yeah, sort of left there from there. There's not that much in Shinsekai. There's just like one relatively short street with a bunch of restaurants on it, and then another short street that is like a little more run-down-ish, not as fancy, just regular restaurants without any flash or fancy. But whatever, it's cool for a quick visit, and, you know, hey, if you're tired of walking, it's a very short place to walk down and see literally all of in, like, a couple minutes. I also had some ice cream. Matcha-based ice cream on the way back from that, which was cool, though, I don't know. I don't really get matcha as a flavor. I wanted to give it a chance. I gave it a chance. I still don't get it. It just tastes like plants to me. Just like algae, I guess. I don't know. Not a flavor I care for, I'll say. Let's do this. Let's fight this Boom Boom. I'll say, we're almost done with Osaka talk. We're almost done with Osaka talk. Like I said, like, that Thursday day was most of my time on Osaka. Most of the time I spent, like, hanging around doing stuff in Osaka specifically. Kyoto got a few more days, had a few more things that I needed to do. I guess maybe I have to choose one of these. I choose this one. I like this one best. Oh, also I choose the spiky helmet. Ooh, okay, good. Osaka is a really cool place to be, I think. And I would put, like, Dotonbori, you know, where I'm staying in particular, is like one of the best places to hang out that there is. But there aren't that many tourist attractions per se, all things considered. Like, I could have gone to the Cup Noodle Museum, which I did last time, and I felt like I really... Damn it.
Oh, no.
I felt like I really didn't need to go a second time. I think I got the idea, and also I'll say, I don't, like, do cup noodles, so it kind of doesn't mean that much to me, personally. But other than that, I pretty much, in that one day, seeing, like, 3 things, that pretty much covers, like, the whole Osaka experience there. Again, it's a cool place to be, and spending time in Dotonbori is a treat that I really enjoy. I'll do another set of photos if I die here. How about? I didn't die, and also I got a checkpoint. Fantastic. Hey. That's really nice of you. I was expecting it to be like a gauntlet, like a challenge. I guess it is still a challenge, just has a checkpoint. Hey, I'll say about Boom Boom fights, they are short. They're short fights. His invulnerability phase is really short. I like that. I like Boom Boom a good deal. I've come to appreciate Boom Boom. I mean, obviously the other Koopalings, they have more to them than Boom Boom, but if you want a boss fight that doesn't overstay its welcome, Boom Boom's your man. Boom Boom's the best you can ask for in that particular category. This will be like a Boom Boom boss. This will be the last one, right? There were 6. We did 3 and then 3 and then 2. I think there's one more. Ooh.
Oh no!
So close, so close. Let me finish off Osaka real fast. So, last night, I did a little more Osaka. I realized that I forgot about Den. I forgot about the Otaku town, which I visited last time on my first day in Osaka, and I forgot it was an actual place and not just somewhere I walked and wandered and found. So, to get there, you go to Dotonbori, and then you walk through one of the indoor shopping mall situations. And then you walk like 10 minutes past that. It's like a 20-minute walk from my hotel. And then you get to a place with a bunch of otaku buildings and such. I went into one of the bigger ones, and I saw some stuff I hadn't seen before, like, oh, there's Gushing Over Magical Girls represented. I always like, when I'm seeing these otaku places, to find franchises that I haven't seen a statue or a figurine or whatever of, and Gushing was one of them. Gushing is a show from earlier this year. That said, as I was leaving there, I found this map and realized, like, oh, this is actually a pretty small area, all things considered. Like, here on this map, it only names like a half dozen locations of note, and I'll say there are more of them. I found like maybe a dozen, 2 dozen as I'm walking down like the correct street. But, you know, this big building with the melon books and the animates is like one of the bigger ones, which, you know, I did like to look at. I do like this building. Did go to a few more as I was going through there. I arrived pretty late. I got off the train pretty late from doing a bunch of Kyoto stuff yesterday. Doing a bunch of Kyoto stuff yesterday, and ride basically right before they all closed. But it was still nice to see all the stuff. To finally find a 100 Girlfriends figurine in the wild. I'd been looking all of last week, at all the otaku places that I went, looking for any representation of the 100 Girlfriends who really, 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 really love you. My favorite anime from last year. And in Den, I finally found 2 figurines for the first 2 girlfriends, which I was really happy to see, and honestly, I felt like, oh, I can just go back to the hotel now. I'm satisfied. But I walked around a little bit longer, saw some more pornography, which I'm not going to show any of the pornography, of course, but I do think it is funny that as you are leaving the pornography area, there's a big sign that says, like, hey, you know, you can get this tax-free, by the way. Like, just thinking about that makes me smile a little bit. The idea of tax-free pornography. Like, yeah, okay, that's fun. That's great. Yeah, I walked a little bit farther, saw some more otaku stores. You know, some of them more specific than, like, figurines, like game stuff, trading cards, arcades, things of that nature. There was the Super Potato, which was closed. It's cool. Cool place. Then I had Sukiyaki? Yakiniku? Which is basically like Yakiniku, there you go. Which is basically like they give you raw meat and you cook it on a little grill. You get to cook it on a little grill, add salt, and it was delicious. They were delicious slices of meat, especially the big last one, which was just gorgeous. The staff did help me a little bit, like showed me how to do my first few, and they sort of handled the big hunk of meat for me, which was nice for what it's worth. But whatever, it was a lot of fun. That is Osaka. Okay. Let's finish this level. That covers everything in Osaka. We're like 2.5 hours in. Fantastic. Just have to cover Kyoto and a little bit of Nara. And then we'll be done. I'll say, by the way, for these last 2 streams, I have done them from Japan. I'm planning one more Travelogue type stream, but I'm not gonna do it from Japan. I'm gonna wait until I get back home before I do that last one. It just makes more sense. It just makes more sense that way. I won't have to worry about the technical difficulties of setting everything up as much. I also won't have to use up any time at, like, my last destination, which I only have a day in. It'll be much simpler logistically than, this stream or last Saturday's stream, the stream from a week ago, which went all manner of wrong again. That was all fucked up. Sorry about that, folks who wanted to watch on the Twitch side. And I imagine some of y'all might have tried tuning in. You know, I mentioned, I sort of set up ahead of time, right? Like, okay, I'll be streaming at this time. God damn it. I'll be streaming about this time. Tune in. And there was no Twitch stream because of technical issues. Again, feel really bad about that. What can you do? You know? At a certain point, I just moved on with my trip and just tried to enjoy my time. You know, I'll say, like, one of my... My channel has a description that says, like, I have a lot of bad ideas. I'm a Mario Maker streamer with bad ideas. I had begun to think that this was a bad idea right here. To do viewer levels while abroad. And not just, you know, take 3 weeks off from streaming, which honestly would have been nice. That said, like, to cover this amount of material in, like, a single stream, like, both this week, but also next week and the week after. Let me, get rid of that, Hang on 1 second. I gotta do something real fast. 1 second. Let me get the chat up on my OBS. And let me get rid of that, ban that bot. Okay, perfect. Okay. Don't worry about that, folks. I got it. Okay. Perfect. Okay, I was wondering how we were getting through this for a second, but... Star. Okay, lovely. Imagine if I fell in that hole. I could wall jump. It'd be fine.
Mario time.
We did it! And also, hey, again, we're done with Osaka talk. Osaka talk is over. Ooh. Let me hit complete on that. And get up the next level. by 06i. Fantastic. Okay. Just gonna shift my feet around. I've been sitting on the floor this whole time because that's how I had to set the stream up to get the laptop and the display monitor all nice and good. Again, I'll show that again real fast. Look at this. This is how it's all set up. This is how it's all set up. Let's do this next level. I'll say... Move some stuff around on my PC. Okay, perfect. Refresh my doodads. Lovely. I'll say it's time for Kyoto stuff. I'll say I think Kyoto is much more tourist friendly. It has a lot more tourist stuff to do. Though, I'll say in Kyoto, it can be hard getting from one thing to another. It's a very, like, rural type town, city. You know, there's a lot of, like, traditional stuff, traditional areas. And as a result, there's not subways going through all those areas. You have to rely more on trams and buses and things of that nature, which can be a little more finicky and a little bit more hard to come by. And a lot of the places that you go end up starting with a 15-minute walk, unfortunately. But, yeah, let's start off talking about that, what's it called? The Koei Theater? I should have wrote down what it was called. It's the Theater Park. Koei Theater Park? I'm typing it in on my computer real fast. The Toei Kyoto Studio Park. That's right. Which is just this, this massive park with a bunch of, like, historical buildings and stuff in it. You can see there, like, some of the areas are themed to different eras. And there's, like, a theater, and there's, like, a little pond. Which, you know, is good if you have, like, waterfront scenes to film, I guess. Also, a monster comes out of it on occasion, which is kind of cute and fun, whatever, I don't know. And also, there's a Giant's Evangelion, which doesn't really fit into the theme, but what the fuck, right? I guess if they like it. Lovely little place. Had a nice stroll, saw some nice things, and then was out. Pretty quick, like. I'll say, fuck. For being like a park, like a sort of theme park type thing. Well, I don't know if theme park's the right word. They don't have rides, they just have... Well, there are some attractions that I didn't partake in, but it's just sort of a nice place to walk around. And, you know, I think it is pretty good. It has a tough act to follow as far as like coming after seeing Universal Studios Japan for me. But whatever, I'm glad I went there. It was an interesting place to visit. Jeez. This is some really cool usage of the bullet bills and the thwomps, making it so that these platforms that you have to avoid at first, you'll eventually be able to use as honest-to-God platforms. That's really cool. Loving the design here. Very well done. Very well done. This is also really well put together as well. Beautiful. I bet there's an item in there. Nope. Nope. Not this time.
Oh no!
Ooh. Do another location. After that, went out to Arashima, which is this really beautiful place, sort of at the west end of Kyoto. Did mostly west end stuff on this particular visit. On the first time I went to Kyoto this trip. This was like Tuesday. This was Tuesday. Basically my first day in the area. First full day in the area. Went out to Arashima, which is has a very beautiful bridge overlapping crossing this river, as well as some other smaller rivers. From there, went out to the Monkey Park, which is like a 20-minute walk. at the top of which you see some nice vistas. And yeah, just monkeys hanging out and just being monkeys, which was really nice to see. I like to look at the monkeys just hanging out, being really friendly and such. You go in this building and you can buy food. I got some sweet potatoes, and you hand them to the monkeys, and they just take them right out of your hand. It's pretty fucking cool. Some of them are really cute, some of them are really big. They just reach through and they get it from you. It's fucking great. I really love the monkey mountain, Arishima's monkey park, and would highly, highly recommend anyone checking it out. Anyone in Kyoto, it's a must-see. This monkey got really close to me by coincidence as I was leaving. That was really nice. Ugh!
Oh no!
That was the third life? Fuck!
Oh, no.
Knew that was coming, and yet I still got hit by it. Arashima is definitely one of the best places in Kyoto, I think, in terms of that attraction, but also there's another one, which we'll get to in a second. After I play some of this level, you know? Balancing the levels and the story time is a bit of a thing. I hope you're hope y'all can appreciate that and you know, are sufficiently sufficiently happy. Let's do that next photo section. Okay. After that, went back down to the river and got some lunch. Got some lunch in a little shop along the river. This is a place I went last time I was here. It's sort of like along that river, like just walking along the side. Last time I got there through the back exit of the bamboo forest. This time I actually came in from the back side, or from the front side, which means I realized it was much more of a tourist trap than I realized first time. Because last time I found it by being lost. This time I came in through the normal entrance, which is, yeah, basically right off one of the busiest bridges in all of Japan. Like, yeah, no, this is tourist central, and I had to wait like an hour to get in there, but it was worth it. It was really good. They had like, I got some udon, and I also had this like rice bowl with egg. It had like scrambled egg on it, but also tempura, fried egg, rice bowl. I was gonna get the oyakodon because that's like my favorite, but I saw this and I was like, oh my god, that sounds so luxurious. And sure enough, it was. It was pretty amazing. There's like what the restaurant looks like on the riverside. Just a beautiful little place, and it gets really busy around lunchtime, it turns out, if you're in the middle of tourist season, or depending on like how busy it is, like as far as tourist stuff goes. Last time in December, it was not busy at all. This time in October, really busy. Go figure, right? Maybe other things have changed in the last 6 years. I don't know. Then went to the bamboo forest, which is just a lovely forest with bamboo on four sides that you walk through, and you look around and say, oh, this is great. This is cool. I was walking downwards this time rather than upwards, and I feel like that made it feel a little quicker, a little smaller, but it was still beautiful. It was still beautiful. I will say that Kyoto day, I was just stressing a lot. I was trying to get everything I wanted to do in on one day, and especially because like most of this crap closes around 5 p.m. So when I spent like an hour on lunch, god damn it!
Oh, no.
When I spent an hour on lunch, I was definitely like worrying and stressing and being like, okay, am I gonna be able to go?
Oh no!
Ah! Careless. Sorry, 61061. Couldn't do it. When I spent an hour on lunch, I was definitely like, going like, I don't know. And as a result, I was sort of like hustling through each of the locations I went in turn. I'm gonna hit dismiss and bring up the next one Again, feel free to resubmit. You know the deal. I was really just hustling and trying to almost speedrun these tourist attractions, which... Is that the best way to do it? I don't know. I went to the rock garden. Ryoji Rock Garden, I think it's called. You can check it yourself later. Which is a lovely garden that has a whole bunch of rocks in it. In a static arrangement as well as like sand. And it's an interesting sort of unique garden that is very aesthetically pleasing. This is a puzzle level? Cool, can't wait to see it. I feel like I wasn't able to fully appreciate this for just being in such a hurry. I sat down for like a second, for like a minute. It's like, rocks. Take some nice photos, look around. I thought this was funny. A funny way to frame the whole thing. I feel like, though, as much as I look at this and went like, originally while taking this, like, it's funny to frame this lady on her phone at the, nice park, but I kind of think she has the right idea, right? Like, yeah, this is just a place to chill and to have good vibes, and, you know, if you want to be in your own head while here, just relaxing and crap, like, yeah, no, that's correct. Oh, I don't want this to be a dunk, but when I took that photo, I was like, oh man, this is quite a choice thing. But maybe not for the reason I was thinking. Also, it's kind of hard to get a photo that has all the rocks in it that looks nice from like the angles in which you can see it, but whatever. It was also beautiful there in general. I then went to the Golden Pavilion, which goddamn, I think that's like the most photogenic building that's ever existed. Like, goddamn, I could not get a bad picture of this. Every picture of this gold-plated temple I got was fucking beautiful. Like, oh my god, this one with the lake. This one also with the lake. This one was from up close. Did I just do a previous slide? Yes. This one from the other side, but also with the lake. You can still see, like, the dock building there. And then there was one from when I was leaving, seeing it over, like, the trees with a little bit of a flower in there. My god, that was just a beautiful thing to end the day with. I was coming in the wire. They were about to close when I got there. But that also meant that the sun was setting, and I guess that probably made it more beautiful than it would otherwise be. Right? Yeah? Golden Pavilion is fucking beautiful. Oh my god, I'm glad I made it in time, and it all worked out as well as it did. Also, I'll say Tuesday was one of the 2 days that were, like, perfectly sunny, in addition to yesterday. So, I was really glad I was able to do this on the sunny day, rather than having to wait until one of the later days where the sun would be less assured. After that, I tried to get into a samurai museum, but it turns out that they, 1, have a virtual rate situation, and 2, they were about to close, so I just figured, like, okay, never mind. You know what, I don't need to, like, throw ninja stars or whatever and have that experience. I'm okay giving that a rest, giving that a skip. And, spoilers, but I don't end up doing it, and I think I'm gonna leave tomorrow, basically not having done it. I don't plan to go do it after this stream is over. After that, I had dinner, which I'll talk about in a second. God damn it, I just realized I have a video from Fire Ramen that, I meant to, pull out. What the fuck is this? Oh, it's a puzzle level. What does this do? Okay. So this POW kills this guy. I need to go out through this door. I need to go up through this door. That guy spawned there. Not sure I'm understanding what the thing is here, but I think this is a clue. Let's start over. Okay, I think what we need to do... Fuck! We need to move the snake block. Then we need to respawn the enemies. Once the snake block is out of the way. Fuck! Kinda difficult. Move the snake block. No, okay. Once you drop the POW in the hint room, run back past the conveyors, okay. Why is it that it spawns when you come in through this entrance? That's really weird, the behavior here. Once you drop the POW in the hint room... Run back past the conveyors and back again. Okay. And that spawned a 1-up. Oh, I think I understand. I guess this was this life? There we go. Okay, here's the gimmick. Don't know why it works like this, but snake blocks are global ground. Okay. How? Blocks the muncher from spawning. So if it respawns now, we get our power up. Okay, that's one step of it done. But then... there's still this thing in the way. I can return through here. Why does it appear when I come through it this way, I wonder? Didn't grab the POW there, so I'm fucked. Donuts. Donuts is the clue. Okay. I'll say, of Fire Ramen. I went to Fire Ramen, which is a lovely ramen shop, where I had normal ramen and gyoza, which I think I like my hometown gyoza better, honestly. I'll say, I have a video that I forgot to set up for this stream. This sort of shows the actual gimmick of Fire Ramen, which unfortunately I can't show because I didn't prepare. But the idea is that they light your ramen on fire. It literally lights up in a big fireball, and it's spectacular. They put like an apron on you so you don't get like burned by the chemicals or the oils that come off it. It's quite something, and I wish I had the video to show. Maybe I'll remember next time, or maybe I'll post it in the Discord or something for y'all to see. Then I went home from there, back to the hotel, and would only come back like Friday. Friday and Saturday, big Kyoto days. I'm not gonna count that one. I dropped that from a mistake. The donuts force you to pause, so do that at the higher up level 2. Interesting. So that's the behavior that's causing this differ. Okay, let's give it a go. Oh, I see. The muncher spawns first. Here. The muncher spawns first and falls down and blocks the guy from spawning. Okay. That's the nature of this. So once we get here, Beautiful. Okay. Thanks for the hints, Dia. I don't know if I'd be able to figure it out without those, but regardless, in any case, appreciate it. I'm happy we're able to get through that. Battery check. We're at 86%. Okay. With this setup, there's no issue of running out of power, ever. It seems, even in a stream as long as this one, which we're nearing 3 hours. Yeah, we're fine. Okay, good. That's a weight off my shoulders. There. The Mysterious Star is up next. Again, feel free to keep on submitting. I'll say we'll close the queue when we get to Nara, because Nara is like a half a day. Was a half-day thing, and it'll be done pretty quickly. Again, queue close when we get to Nara. But, a couple more photos. On Friday, after I went to the Nintendo Museum, I went to Fushinari Shrine, which I thought would be a nice... First off, it's the closest thing that I wanted to see to the Nintendo Museum, which doesn't mean it was that close. It was like an hour by train and bus and whatever. But I thought it was tangentially related because, I don't know if you know this, but this shrine inspired Star Fox 64 because it involves a lot of running through all these torii gates, like countless ones of them. And Star Fox 64, you know, the part where you fly through gates in the first level, that was inspired by this shrine. And you can see, oopsie daisy. At first, it's just a regular temple with regular temple stuff, but pretty soon you get to the gimmick. I say the gimmick, maybe that's rude. Which is just a bunch of torii gates. Countless corridors of torii gates. They split up and are really fucking busy. At least until you get to the point where, you know, you walk for a while, right? For like 10 minutes, and then you get here and you realize, like, oh, I'm at the bottom. I'm at the point where those, like, you see the bottom path there that goes off to the right first? Yeah, I'm at the right side of that first looping path. At that point, I'm like, oh my god. I keep on walking. I keep on walking. Last time I did this, I went here, I got like part way up and turned around in a nice vista. And by this point, right, we're getting up far enough where there stop being as big crowds, and you can get some shots with just the torii gates in them if you wait for the right timing. And I saw the sights, this vista, which took my breath away. And then I was like, oh, Jesus Christ, I'm here again. How far is the top? And then I get to here where it tells me, hey, you're just at the point where, you've reached the forking point for the top part. And I was like, oh my god, no! I'm not anywhere near the top. I'm practically in the middle. I was really hoping for the summit right there, just past where I got last time, but it turns out it was a while further, which I walked, and I climbed, and I gasped, and I gasped, and I bought some bottled water, because I was parched and thirsty. And there was no water fountains, but I got to the top. This was the thing at the top. This is the sign saying at the top. Hell of a thing. The way back, there were still more branching paths, but I took one of them, and eventually made it back to the bottom. God, what a hike. But I'm glad I did it. And, at a certain point, I was just so exhausted and so parched, I couldn't really appreciate it for, like, the aesthetic value. I was just sort of just, like, pushing through, like, okay, here you go. More mountain, more mountain, more mountain. Step by step, step by step. Try not to slip. Try not to slip on the wet ground. It was kind of wet. I'll say, the rain had sort of let up for most of Friday, so while it was very overcast, it wasn't actively raining for, like, most of the day. Oh, hey, this is another one of those, one of these levels, huh? What the fuck?
Oh no!
Let me refresh the lives also. What were we doing? There we go. This level is fucked up. What the hell? Oh, even more. Fuck. God.
Oh no!
Oh god, there's safe ground at the sides. Okay, there's safe grounds at the sides. Okay. It's not as evil as I thought it was. It's just pretty damn evil, all things considered. I guess because of the nature of the room, you can't actually see that there's ground at the sides until you, until the camera scrolls down a little bit. The fight was so hard it got split from the earlier level. Oh wow, you had this as one of the ones, and then... Okay, so this is only this fight. This is only this fight. Gotcha, okay. 4 tries, let's see if we can do it. Get a little bit snuffly, hope you don't mind. You bounce off these guys. Fuck. We almost did it. We're getting through it. I almost think that the hover is a liability. The hover feels like it might be a liability. Oh, but Fire Flower is also a liability because it'll destroy the guys that we're jumping on. We can't have that. Can't have that, no. Mushroom is kind of low-key the best choice. And like the safest option here. Feels risky as hell. Ah! So close. Couple more photos. We'll show another area. After that, went to Kiyomizu-dera Temple, which was right after, right near Fushinari. And it's like my favorite temple to visit. It's large and big, obviously has some nice big structures, but more importantly, there's this huge area that's like overlooking a cliffside, and all these like displays. All these, like, areas where you could stand on the ledge and look over across, like, the beautiful landscape, or towards, like, that sunset, which I arrived at just the perfect time to see. They were about to close, by the way, so I had to rush a little bit. Again, with the rushing towards the end of the day on these Kyoto days. It turns out when it takes, like, an hour to an hour and a half to get to Kyoto, it ends up being a pretty tight day to see everything I want to see, especially if you spend 4 hours at the Nintendo Museum. It's all beautiful. Parts of it overlook the cliff. There's the backside of the one area, and you can see the other temple there. A nice view of that. Beautiful, beautiful. There's me and the thing. And there's also an area where some water drops down, and you can like put a little thing up to catch the water, little spoon grabber thingy. They have these things at shrines all the time. The little pails on sticks that you can get in and grab it. Seemed neat. I didn't have time to wait in line. It was about to close when I saw this. And yeah, Kiyomizu-dera fucking rules. And I was a little worried about my timing. You know, whether it'd be ideal to come at night. I'm gonna take the mushroom. I'm gonna take the mushroom and the shelmet. I was a little worried about coming at night, but it ended up working really well. Oh, god damn it. The timing of it ended up working really well, so I could see the sunsets. And also, I got no less a view of the rest of the place while I was there. I was able to see it real nice and good, real nice and clear. And it was just, as lovely as I remembered it. I think that's my favorite shrine. Kiyomizu-dera, Temple. In Kyoto, in Tokyo, in all over Japan. I forgot to spin. This will be really tight if we can... Ah! Close one, close one. We had a couple close tries there, but unfortunately was unable to do it. Unable to do it. Let me refresh the lives for the next person. And hit dismiss. Next up, we have 06I. 06I. Wonderful. After that, I went to Gion, like I said earlier, when I was given the basic summary of the whole week that I've had, and basically just walked down that whole street. It's a slightly more traditional main street where, like, all the sidewalks on either side are like lit by lantern-looking things and fancy signs. I'll say, you know, there's a lot of like, maybe this area isn't like the most traditional. It's like the traditional area of Gion, you know, it's just more of a nice place, but it has a fancy theater, which I'll show in a second here. It has a fancy theater that is pretty important, I guess, which has a subway in it for some reason. And I'll say, like, walking through this area again, I kind of got low-key nostalgic, because the last time I was in Kyoto, I stayed in Kyoto, in the Gion area, and I must have walked down this street to get to that subway, like, a dozen times. And so it feels like, it's like, it's nostalgic and shit, like I said. Hey, Julius Puga, let me show you how it's done. You do add and then the code, like that. And that gets you into queue. I didn't eat there, thought about eating there. Instead, I just went to the Nintendo store, which, you know, you might have thought I would be Nintendo'd out, but I decided to stop by the Nintendo store while I was there that night, and saw it. Had some pretty cool stuff. I was surprised by how they were selling a Mii Brawler. I'm pretty sure this was pretty rare. When I bought Mii Brawler, which, by the way, I'm a Mii Brawler main, so I had to buy the amiibo. I had to buy it used for, like, a big premium, and this is, like, a normal price for an amiibo to be. I don't know if it's available broadly, but I saw that and went, oh god. There are also some pretty cool Pikmin plushies, a flagpole to take a picture of, and I think this Hylian throw pillow is pretty neat. I wish the Nintendo 64 novelty pillow was this sized. I would have gotten it if it was this size, but alas. I also saw some Beanie Babies in the Mandarak in the way out. There you go, Julius. I'll take mine out of thing. Also, I saw some more anime figurines on the way out, including Cells at Work guy, which I don't know I've seen so far this trip. Finally, that day, I decided to try out, to give Subway 7-Eleven food one more chance. I got some noodles from the 7-Eleven. They were okay, but I don't know. People say that convenience store food in Japan is actually good, but what I would say to those people is, have you tried Stouffer's? Stouffer's is pretty good, and I would say that I prefer Stouffer's to this udon with chicken in it, and mushrooms, and some sort of sauce. I think that Stouffer's got you beat. Marie Callender's, brands of those natures. Brands of that nature. We just got one last day to cover of this trip. One last day in Kyoto, like half a day, really. And then a half day in Nara. And then we will be done covering, like, all I've been up to in the last week here in Japan. And then I will go and enjoy the rest of my day. Which I'll say, I specifically put this day off to not have any big plans for. I think I'm gonna walk down to the Dotonbori again, hang out in Dotonbori for a bit, have dinner, have lunch there, but otherwise just relax. Also, I am still a bit sick, so it would be good to have a day where I don't walk 10 to 15 miles, I think. That would be a good thing for me and my feet, and also my apparent cold. I want to recover by tomorrow, which is a day of travel, so also I gotta pack for that tomorrow. Gotta be careful. I gotta pack for that tomorrow. Get all my shit back packed up, all nice and clean. And, yeah, I'm not seeing, like, I think I'm just gonna take it easy the rest of the day. Maybe I'll watch more anime. I'll say, while I've been here in Japan, I haven't been able to finish off any of the anime that I've been watching, like, at home. You know, any of the older shows from last season. I don't think I'll finish... You know what? I might finish Oshinoko. I might fast-track Oshinoko. I think there's the last episode of that out. I might fast-track a couple of them that I'm really enjoying, but otherwise I think I'll save those for when I get back. It's just easier. The way I like to do anime is when I finish watching something, I like to write a whole review type thing, like a letterbox style review, and that's a lot easier. That takes some energy. That takes more energy than just watching any episode of anime or starting a new series. So it's just been easier to do the later. Last episode tomorrow? Is that true? Dang. I would love to watch that tonight. Well, you know what? I'm gonna be on the bullet train for a while tomorrow. I might watch that on the bullet train tomorrow, if it's available by then. I don't know. Fuck! I don't know how that timing is all gonna work out. I did them in the wrong order that time. Come on, I gotta stop dying! Oshinoko has been fucking fantastic, by the way. Random note there. God damn it! Oshinoko has been great, really enjoying that. A lot of shows have been fantastic, I'll say. And, you know, a lot of shows I really need to wrap around and finish, but I don't have the energy to do that from Japan, while also seeing everything that I want to see and, you know, really min-maxing this vacation. Which, you know, hey, I'll say maybe I should be taking it more easy. Maybe I should have just, like, spaced it out a little bit more such that, like, okay, maybe I see 2 temples one day. Oshinoko is on Wednesday? Right, yeah, it's on Wednesday. Or Tuesday, or I don't know what day. In Japan it is. This is the weekend, so wouldn't it... Did Oshinoko not already finish? I thought it finished last week. I thought it finished this week. Maybe you're thinking of a different anime. Maybe you meant a different anime when you said last episode. Oh, it got delayed? Oh, crap. Okay. Gotcha. I'll say, by the way, it is weird how popular Japanese anime music is here in Japan. Like, the OPs from Oshinoko are legitimately some of the most popular music in Japan. Walking around the streets, you'll hear that OP from the first season, even this season, just from restaurants that aren't even, like, otaku in nature. It's pretty cool. And yeah, deserved. That song is great. It's a little weird that it's devoid of context, right? Like, you know, you gotta think some people hear it and just go like, oh, it's a cool song about an idol. I don't know. And you just gotta sit back and go like, oh, you don't get it. You don't get, like, the dark heart of this song. The twisted, fucked up revenge story that it's, like, underscoring. Maybe they get it. Maybe they do. I don't know. But it's just fascinating, like, how mainstream it is here. I hear it's, like, literally was the most popular song top of the billboards for a time when it first hit. And still, by, you know, just walking around sake, still seems like the one. Maybe that and like, Bing Bang Whatever from, the song of Mashley. Mashley's OP is around. I've also heard the OP from, I've heard the OP from, The Dangers in My Heart Season 2. Heard that around for some reason. That's a surprise. I like how mainstream it all is here. And how, like, inescapable it is. That's fun to me. And, you know, I bet if it was American culture and if it was, like, Marvel music playing everywhere, maybe I would have a different take. Maybe I would be a little more cynical. But I love anime, and, you know, it's kind of a thing where back in America, I saw someone watching, like, anime live the other day, and that was, like, a rarity. Like, oh my god, it's Perry. Perry Isekai. Some guy just watching it from, you know, in the office at work. What are the odds of that? Whereas, like, in Japan, it's, like, everywhere, man. Beautiful, we got another checkpoint. That refreshes our doodads. We hadn't lost that many anyway. Okay, gotta pay more attention to these guys. These guys are gonna be a problem. Okay. Like I said, by the way, we have like half a day left to cover of Kyoto. A few last shrines I got in yesterday before my last visit to Kyoto. By the way, I'm done with Kyoto. I'm not going back this trip. No, it's just not in the cards, you know. Schedule-wise and also timing-wise. Whatever happens today, I'm gonna chill out and spend some time in Osaka, specifically. Lovely. Good. Okay. Hey, we got through. Beautiful. Great level, 06I. Loved it. Woohoo indeed. Woohoo, everyone. I'm gonna hit complete. I'm gonna pull up that level by Julius Perja. Again, feel free to resubmit. Anytime is good. That said, I think I'm going to show the last of the Kyoto ones right now. So, Kyoto, last day in Kyoto. I went out from Nara, directly from Nara. We'll talk about Nara last. Around midday, took the Philosopher's Path, which apparently is like a thing. It's like a sort of a thing, but really it's just like a sidewalk across a canal, which is kind of pretty. Whatever. And by that, got to the Silver Pavilion, which I guess is similar to the Gold Pavilion. I hadn't been to this before, so it was nice to see something that I hadn't seen before. They have a big mound of sand shaped like Mount Fuji, which, I don't know. I was kind of nonplussed by, but it was cool at least. Pretty buildings. Some sand stuff that I thought was pretty neat. Like, they got all this sand, like, combed into rows. Like you would do at the beach for fun, I guess, but a lot more precise and stuff. There was a waterfall. And, after a short hike up into some hills, I got a nice view of the whole thing. Which was very pretty. And then one more final shot of that pavilion with the water. It's very pretty. Not as pretty as the Golden Pavilion, but like, yeah, no, I'm glad I went here. I will say I dropped my phone during this when I was at the Silver Pavilion, and it sustained a little bit of a crack you can see there on the back Fortunately, the camera does not seem to be impacted, as also the front was not impacted, so goddamn. I was really sweating that. After that, went to another shrine, the Heian Shrine, which outside was this giant torii gate, which was pretty cool. And it's just like a shrine with some like big sandy courtyard, which I definitely saw last time I was in Japan, but last time I was on a tour and they didn't take us around the whole outside area, which is just like a pleasant stroll around some nice scenic areas. That said, this, I even said at the time, like, yeah, this is kind of like my third or fourth pleasant stroll today, so I don't know. I'm sort of reaching my limit here as far as pleasant strolls go. And yeah, it was a very pleasant stroll with some nice ponds. There was a point where the path split up, and I decided to go the route on the right. Both ways are valid, which had some nice views of the other side, but also I did miss stepping stones that were fun. It's a fun stepping stone situation. It was very pretty there. There was a big body of water, and then I went to Nijojo Castle. I'm getting a little coarse here. We're almost done with Kyoto talk. There's just like 2 subjects left in Kyoto. 2 last places that I visited before leaving for good. '06I. Now is the perfect time to resubmit, by the way. If you want to get one last level in, I would love to have one last level from you. That'd be lovely. Really appreciate everyone watching around. I think by now it is midnight in America. Later than I usually do these streams, but it's midday here. It's 2 p.m. roundabout. Wonder if we're supposed to use the damage boost here. Fantastic. There's another level by 06I. I reckon the close of the queue is coming up after this one. That's my, That's my thought right now. And Nara will be a real quick topic. Because it's basically just a single place. Alright, did it. Use damage boost, but that's fine, hey. The damage boost made it quite doable. I bet there's a way to do that without damage boosting if you, like, slow down in spots. And, like, take your time to go from one jump to the next. Wait for it to fall a bit before jumping. But, felt better to, just use the damage boost and push through and not worry so much about the, situation. I'm gonna hit complete. And, get up the next level, which is by 06I. We kind of had the perfect amount of levels to talk through everything, without that much, like, time after I'm out of topics, out of photos. Went to Nijojo Castle, which was a place for the Shogun. A place where the Shogun lived, apparently. The Shogun had a very nice house, which I went in and wandered around. You could not take photos inside. Just know it was a really nice house with, like, really large rooms. I remember going on a tour last time of this place, and they explained a few things about it, like, oh, the floors are squeaky on purpose here. They're squeaky on purpose so that every time you step, when someone's in the hallway so that ninjas or whatever couldn't sneak up on you. And, like, oh, there's a bunch of large rooms that have no furnishing, basically, because they would sort of, like, mix and match and change up what they're using a room for as the conditions applied. And I know that's a thing in Japanese housing even to this day, but even in the state of the Shogun, of, like, the biggest house that there is, they would still reuse rooms for different purposes depending on what they needed, which is kind of interesting. They also had, like, cool murals and stuff. Nice pond, nice buildings. I got a view of those nice buildings from this like elevated watchtower bit. It is a World Heritage Site. It is pretty cool. I'm pretty sure that this isn't the specific castle that's in Shogun. I think maybe Osaka Castle is the one that's in Shogun, which I did. I will say, in the Osaka section, I did go to that. I did mention that earlier, but it's still really cool history. It's still really pretty, and glad I went there. Ooh. Let me enter in the next code, and you know what? We'll finish off the Kyoto stuff right now. Went to Nishiki Market. Nishiki Market, that was the last thing I did on that day. Well, yesterday I did Nara, then I did the remainders of Kyoto, then I did Den back in Osaka. But this is the last thing I did in Kyoto. I went to Nishiki Market, which is just a very fun market street, where it's just full of fun little shops and stuff, and they sell all sorts of fun food, which I had the pleasure of trying out. Like, this is a rice cake with cheese on it. I didn't like that so much. I don't think I like rice cakes, it turns out. Cheese could not save it. Here are, like, squids and octopuses with quail eggs in them. I had one squid, one octopus, and they were a little slimy, but, okay. I like the squid a lot more than I like the octopus, I'll say. There were these giant potato chips that were like candied, that were like sugared. I got a thing of those, and I wish they were salty rather than sugary, but they were pretty okay. I tried a tempura skewer, prawn tempura skewer, which is pretty good. Can't go wrong with tempura. I finally tried this like Japanese pastry, which is like filled with like red bean filling, and also had a strawberry in it. Strawberry was the best part. The red bean was okay, though. It was very gritty, but it had a very odd, very sweet taste. For the life of me, I could not figure out how to describe this flavor, but it was interesting to finally try that out. And at this point, I was really spent and just wanted, like, one final thing, a little ice cream, and I was on my way from there. Exited the old Nishiki Market, past the Wendy's first kitchen. That's when you know that Nishiki Market is over, when you get to the Wendy's. And then headed out into the Gion area again, coincidentally. That's where Nishiki Market lets off. And had one last look at the river, one last look at Gion, and, sort of headed back to Osaka way. And that is... Wait, I'm wondering now, where did I put the Nara pictures? I think I forgot to put the Nara picture somewhere. 1 second, let me fix that. You know what? I've just realized I forgot the Nara pictures. Let me add a new slideshow. Image slideshow. Image slideshow. Add files. I have them here, don't worry. I definitely remembered to download them and get them all set up, right? Or did I just do... Let me see now. Gallery. Ooh, no, I forgot. Okay, shit. 1 second, let me download those. 1 second, this'll be fast, don't mind me. Forgot some of my photos. These the Nara ones? Nope. Hey, Fishy Bon, trippin'. Give me a minute. Just going to find... Let me just share... Album. I totally forgot to copy over the 25 Nara pictures, but I will do so now. Okay, share photos. Copy iCloud link. That's Kyoto. Kyoto's done. Copy iCloud link. Paste into... God damn it. it's sort of a whole process to get the photos onto my computer. I basically go to share photos. I go to copy iCloud link. It prepares it, and then I paste it into a Discord bot that no longer is really active, which I post everything where I want to share it from my phone to my PC. That's the best way I know to get a link from one to the other, just like copying, pasting it to a bot that's probably really doesn't need to have my vacation photos, but whatever, it's just easier than messaging myself some other way. I'm gonna hit download. They're gonna download real fast. I'm gonna unzip them. And then I'm gonna show you a bunch of Nara pictures. While I'm doing this, let me just say, Kyoto is fantastic. Kyoto is lovely. It's beautiful. It's got so many traditional things, so many things to see. I could have seen more shrines, more things. There was one where there's like 1,000 Buddhas all in a row, where I decided not to go do that one because I kind of I went there last time and it was fun and all, but you can't take pictures, and that for me is a big factor in why I like to go places, is to take pictures when I'm there. And there's plenty of others that you could put onto a trip, but I decided on the ones that I did, and I do not regret any of my choices. They were all really good. Okay, I pull them, I convert them over to be the right size so that the OBS can load them without any issue. And here we go. Let me get this. These should be in order. Oh, hang on. Well, I need to change some settings here so that it doesn't loop. It doesn't loop. It doesn't play automatically. You play manually. And yeah, good. Okay. And that should be good. Okay, we'll talk about Nara in a minute. Let's play this last level. Let's play this next level, and then I will close the queue, and we'll talk about Nara as the last thing that we do here, okay? Okay. Sorry for the... I forgot that one. Just genuinely forgot to get those photos prepared. Also, I gotta get my my stream deck back up on my phone. There we go. Beautiful. Perfect. Okay. Let's do this. Let's do this level. I get my full screen preview back up. Okay. We are good. Let's do it. And again, after this, I'll be closing the queue. We'll be finishing off the last levels that are in there. And then we'll be ending. And that'll be the end of the stream. And the last stream I'll do whilst abroad in Japan. I will cover the last week of this trip at some point, but it'll be when I get home. Sentient Seaweed Sea. Okay. It'll be when I get home. When I play that. It will be when I get home. When we do the next thing. When we cover the next week. Which, by the way, the plans for the next week. Fuji-Q Highland. 2 more days in Tokyo. And then ending on Hakone. God damn it. Hakone is the last stop on my trip. Which I'm pretty excited for. I will say, I ran into some issues today with the hotel booking. Apparently PayPal fucked up and wasn't able to pay. so they canceled what appointment I had. I was able to rebook, but I don't have a private onsen anymore, which makes me sad, but at the very least I have somewhere to stay when I get to Hakone, and it's not like there's not onsens in Hakone for me to use and me to enjoy. It's kind of the thing it's famous for, having a whole bunch of fucking onsens. I'll just use the hotel's non-private onsen, I guess. And maybe, like, some of the other onsens in the area as well. I kind of have my pick of the litter, actually. Quick last call. I'm gonna hit complete on that. And 06, if you want to get one more in, now's the best time for that. Once you do, I'll just close the queue all nice and proper, and then we will end. I will talk about Nara, which is cool. Nara's cool too, hey. It's last calls. I'm not going to play on my own levels. That's the thing we usually do during last calls. Play some of my levels, you know? Just to show y'all what kind of levels I make, but today is different. I should probably, you know, relax a little bit. Enjoy my day of rest between, like, you don't have any more? Gotcha. Are you sure? I thought we saw a bunch. I thought we saw a bunch in there that we could have chosen. But, hey, if you say so, you're the boss. I appreciate it, hey. We'll just go ahead and close then. Okay, that's fine. Let's finish off these last two levels, and also talk about Nara. This'll be, the last levels of the night. They're all too long and hard? Gotcha, okay. Maybe better suited for not the lightning round, then. Which, by the way, at the start of most non-Japan streams, I do start with a section where I get 12 minutes per level, but I don't have that kind of energy to spend 12 minutes on one level tonight, or today. You understand, I've been running around, bouncing around so many cities. We'll see the deer after this level. Which, by the way, if you don't know, Nara's gimmick is that it's full of deer. It's full of deer, they're just everywhere. And, what's the deal here? We'll show them now, okay. Oh, right, I forgot. I need to use, not hotkeys. I don't have that set up. I just have to do it like this. Okay. These should be in order. So, Nara is just full of deer. They're everywhere. I hope these photos are in order. They are definitely not. Hang on one second. Let me move them. Add files. Sort by name, please. Not by date modified, by name. Okay, they're backwards, but that's fine. Okay, Nara. So Nara's just full of deer. They're everywhere. You see them, they're hanging out, and you can buy crackers for them and feed them to the deer. And it's pretty cool. They'll just walk up to you, and they'll take them right out of your hand if you're offering. And hell, if they think you're holding out on them, they will get a little bit aggressive. They'll start biting your clothes. They'll start, like, going like, hey, hey. They'll prod you a little bit with their horns. It's pretty cool. And a great novelty for a town to have. Beautiful, beautiful animals. Some of them are chilling out. They cross the street. There's a whole big area that's full of deer. Like, entire corner of the town. That's a little bit more rural, a little bit more rustic than, like, maybe the city center that the city also has. This guy was yawning. I don't know if you've ever heard what a deer sounds like when they yawn, but they sound bizarre. It was like a high-pitched, wailing yawl. I can't make it. I can't do it. I can't. But you have to believe me. It was really something. This deer was really cute. There's just deer everywhere. I tried to get some selfies with some.
some of which turned out okay. There was also a really big temple, which I'll talk about in a second after trying this level some more. My foot is entirely asleep right now. Holy Jesus. I've been on the floor too long, I guess. After this level, we'll talk about the temple and finish off Nara Tark. It's a really cool place to hang out, see the deer. I will say though, it is a place that you can do in like an hour or 2 or 3. Not a place that you want to spend like a whole day, you know. But, you know, it's also perfectly good for that. Right? Like, it doesn't take that long to get out there from Osaka. Doesn't take all that long to get out there from Osaka. Oh my god, my foot is entirely asleep. It's pins and needles here. Oh, jeez. And, you know, while the gimmick is fun, it's really fun. Deer are really cool, and this is like the most up close and personal you get with wild animals in Japan, at least by my experience. Granted, there's also the monkey zoo where you hand food to monkeys. That's cool as well, but I gotta tell you, the fucking deer, man, they're a whole nother level. They're literally just in the same room with you, in the same space, in the same outdoors, and they'll get aggressive, they'll get weird, and, you know, they're still wild animals. They're not exactly, like, 100% friendly, but it's cool, it's chill, it's one of the best gimmicks a city's ever had in history, I'll say. And if you're doing Osaka, Kyoto, definitely would recommend a trip out to Nara. I think even if you don't, like, know about the temple or don't care that it's a really big temple, the deer alone are reason enough. Damn it, that was the last life. Weren't able to do it. Thank you very much for submitting that. Asteroid. We just got one last level tonight, and that's gonna do it for us. I'm gonna hit miss. And I'm going to bring up the last level. Beautiful. Refresh our things. And let me finish the slideshow here. We'll finish the slideshow. So it's a very big temple. Very, very, very big. As you're, like, approaching it, there's more and more deer. Oh, wait, I'm going the wrong way. Okay, backwards. Remember, these slideshows go backwards. Really big temple. You can't really tell from here, but from this perspective, when it's more close up, you can see that it's, like, fucking huge and large and imposing, and inside is just a giant Buddha, with some side Buddhas as well. Pretty chill, pretty cool. Enjoyed having that look at that, but let's face it, the deer are the main highlight, and there's so many, and I got this really good selfie, which is a lot better than the selfie I got last time with a deer there. This deer was, like, laying down, which made it easy to get in there, you know, and frame it right. It was really hard to get in there, get, like, face real next to a deer, because a lot of times they'll be like, what the fuck? Get away from me. And also, they'll be like, I'm walking forward, man. I don't have time to stop. I gotta go get some biscuits. Just a really fun use of a day. This guy was in, like, a little planter. There are a bunch more deer there. And then, yeah, I'll say again, I think there's also a part of Nara that's like an actual city, with, like, actual malls and actual tall buildings and things of that nature. But the reason why people go out to Nara is the part with the deer in it, where the deer run wild, and it's really fucking novel. And that covers the last week of Japan travel. Woo. It has been a long week. Most of those days were like 12-hour days, with very few of them where I was able to return to the hotel room and, like, take a break for an hour or two. The only breaks, really, were, like, I think Osaka Day, I took, like, a break of a couple hours in there on Thursday. And, the day where I went to the aquarium, I had to wait for an hour, so I took a break in a mall, just, like, watching ReZero on my phone for, like, an hour. It's hardly a break if you don't get to take your shoes off, I think. Is, what I'll say about that. Whatever. I don't know if I can really count it as a break, you know what I mean? And certainly I wasn't, like, super refreshed after. What the fuck is this level? I don't know if we can do this level. Fishy bone traption. I'll be lucky if I can get past the first jump here. We got 4 tries. That's usually quite a few, but tonight, this level, I don't know. I think I need to do a short jump, not like a jump where the top of the thing bounds me. You know, where I've touched the top, and then I fall from there. Last life. This level is precise. Can we, No. We can't do it. Alright. Well. Couldn't do it. I understand you didn't know what kind of levels I like. I mean, I don't dislike this kind of level. I just struggle to get through the first jump. Whatever. It's a whole thing. I appreciate it. Nonetheless, I'm glad you enjoyed watching and hanging out. That was a whole stream. And now I have, like, a whole rest of my day to do stuff in. It's like 2:30. I think I will, get up and go do some more tourism. The alert sound effect was really, off there, but that's fine. Thank you for the follow. I guess this laptop has some problem with alerts. Whatever. This has been a whole travelogue type stream. I have a week left in Japan. Tomorrow, I'm getting on I'm gonna take the Shinkansen and probably some other connecting trains to get to Fuji-Q Highland. And then I'll have some Fuji-Q Highland time the next 2 days. Really hope it rains less than it's indicating, because, yeah, I guess if it rains the next 2 days, the next 3 days really heavily, those Fuji-Q Highland days are gonna be all kinds of fucked up. After that, a little bit more Tokyo, and then after that, a little bit of Hakone, the hot spring city, to end on. And then after that, I will return home and I will do some sort of stream covering all that. I'll say, again, no more streams until I'm home, probably. But after Sunday, October whatever, October should be 12th, shouldn't it? On October 12th or 13th or after, I could fix that if I wanted to. It's fine. You get it. Next Sunday, sometime after that, either when I land, or maybe the next night, or maybe the night after that. Depends how horribly jet-lagged I am. Depends if I'm still a little sick. We might end up delaying it by up to a week, but I will eventually come back and cover the last week of travel. I'm just not going to rush to do it while I am still here in Japan. I'm going to enjoy the entirety of my Hakone day, and not spend, like, hours and hours talking about Fuji-Q Highlands. Instead, I'm going to go hit the onsens and do things of that nature. You know. And then after that, sometime after the regular schedule will be reimposed, Tuesdays for variety nights, Fridays for viewer levels. That'll be how we do. Both of those are in Central Time, by the way. I'm thinking I might do Tuesday be a playthrough at some point, but for now, let's do more variety streams. I want to get back to Metroid Dread Randomizer and get another go at that. I have some other ideas I'd like to hit upon. And, also, the stream, my 3-year stream anniversary will be coming up. We'll come up with some plans for that. And also, probably we'll do an Extra Life thing at some point. Huh. Let me send anyone on Twitter off on a raid. That sounds like a good thing. Let me see who is online, who I can raid. By the way, battery check. We're at 84%. Okay, so not doing a local high quality recording means that the battery lasts the whole stream, even if it is slowly draining. Okay, I'd have to go like 12, 24 hours to really drain it like this, which is a relief that wasn't a problem this time, let me tell you. I'd love to do a UFO 50 stream at some point as well. UFO 50 is really cool, and I would love to show that off on stream. I'd love to do an Echoes of Wisdom stream maybe at some point. Goofy Guy Games is doing some Mario Maker. I'll send you over there. Oh, actually, you know what? Team Kayla is doing Metal Gear Solid 3 Snake Eater. I'm gonna send you over there. Kayla's great. Lovely. Okay. Kayla's a lovely streamer. Really love her stuff. I'll probably watch some of that, like, if I go somewhere. If I go, like, get some Wendy's for lunch. I was thinking Wendy's for lunch today. And then for dinner, I'll get something more Osaka-y. But can't go wrong with Wendy's. I think my stomach could use something that's a little bit tame. You know, still being a little bit sick and all. Whatever. I'll see ya when I see ya. That'll be when I'm back from Japan. This VOD will go up soon, as will YouTube Shorts. They continue to go up every day. Give your love to the VOD. Give your love to the to the shorts. Whatever. I'll see ya when I see ya. Probably like in a week or more. We'll see what happens. Bye, folks.